Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's nothing
There we
serious.
go. All right, we're live.
All right. So now that we're live, I'm just gonna wait on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, it works. All right. So now that we're live, hi, I'm Ren,
I'm Ron,
and we are the Pinkpad podcast,
and we talk about random shit.
and it'll just keep going on and whatever, I guess.
Yeah. All right, so our first topic is Genshin Impact.
I wouldn't just say Genshin only as the topic. I'm almost
Yeah, that's our
thinking
first
about.
topic. That's our first
Oh
topic.
yeah, I guess Genshin as a as a first topic,
Mm-hmm.
but
That is our
I would
first
like to
topic.
say gacha games in a general sense.
There's an ice cream truck outside, bro. It's so loud.
I want ice cream. I kind of want to just run out there. Like,
Right?
if you get some, I want some.
I got you, bro. Well, I'm not gonna
Okay.
do that midstream. There's an
Well,
ice cream truck and it's so
I
loud
mean,
though.
I could try to just explain to everyone that, yeah, Ran went to get some ice cream,
Yeah.
and yeah, just I
Just
guess I'm the one I'm just the one hosting
you're
everything for
just
now.
alone. All right, so our first topic, Genshin. What do you have to say about Genshin right now?
Okay, the current state is weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, like, that's very. I mean, I understand that's very elaborate, but there was a time that Genshin was genuinely fun, just because I believe it's new, and I don't think there was anything like it.
Mm-hmm.
But now that the game has evolved, it feels like it's going away from its original state.
Like it evolved, but it like devolved, if you know what I mean. Like it evolved, but in a
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
way.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if Genshin was the pioneers of this type of gotcha game. Would you know?
I don't think so. I don't think they are.
Because then who would have done it first? That's what I'm wondering. Because
I don't
I don't think there
know.
was any other. I don't think there was any other game like it. I'm
Um,
trying. I'm
well,
just
there
trying to
had to
think.
have been because it only started in like 2020.
Wait, when did Genshin start? Hold on.
2020.
Genshin. Really, it was. I think it was
It started
before
in 2020, like sometime like I don't know, mid-year.
mid-year. Was it in the beginning of the pandemic? I'm trying to check.
Uh, I think it was somewhere like in the middle of the pandemic, no?
When did it? Yeah, it was 2020,
Yeah.
but I don't. Now I'm trying to remember, when did the pandemic start? I guess it's just been
It
that long.
started like very end of 2019.
Okay, okay. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
in terms of like the way Genshin is back then,
Mhm.
it was very.
Oh, hi,
I
what's
get.
up? How are you?
Oh, hey, welcome in.
Sorry, we're yapping. What were
Yeah,
you
we're
saying?
yeah. I'm just thinking, like, when Genshin first started, like the fact that um everyone was excited to grab, like, I guess a pulling system was different.
Can this
So I don't,
fuck ass ice cream truck shut up, bro? My bad.
dude. If there was an ice cream truck right here,
Dude,
right now, I'd probably
this
just run after.
this ice cream truck is so loud. It's like luring me. It's like a siren, bro. It's
Okay,
like a
look, listen,
siren.
listen. If you guys want to just run out and grab some ice cream, I'll just try to entertain everyone for some time.
Nah, it's okay. No, it's good. It's good. I'm not that much of a child, bro. I do not
Um,
need it that bad.
um, the fact that there was like a lot of, I guess the whole pulling system was different.
Mm-hmm.
It was just fun being able to just get a bunch of, I don't know, rewards, or I don't know how to explain it. It was just like, I
Yeah,
don't.
they're they're trying too hard now, though.
I understand they're trying too hard now, but like think of it back then, or it was almost every week there was something that you can
Mm-hmm.
get like 10 pulls for. Like I said, I feel like it was one of the first of its kind.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Well,
this
it
is like,
seemed that way, but I don't think it was. Because there were others like before it. Was there not?
I mean, in a different style, maybe. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but like that, it wasn't like one of a kind though.
It's hmm. Okay, maybe in the gacha system it wouldn't be um
Like in the
yeah, I
gacha,
don't
like in general, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think it would be like its
Yeah.
first gotcha, but like you look at it back then, I don't think there was such a thing as an open world gotcha like the way it was.
Was there?
No, I don't think so. I can't think of anything.
Hmm.
This was genuinely one of its. I think it was genuinely one of its kind.
Yeah, but then the like five other games came after it and it just tried
Yeah,
too hard and now it's really shit.
yeah. Now it's really shit.
Now it's
But
really shit.
like back when a lot of the characters also had personality,
Mm-hmm.
like let's just take the first couple of no, well, they had lore, but it wasn't that. No, how do I say this? I'm trying to remember how it was back then in terms of its lore. Because
It
while there
was
was a lore,
it was
but
a lot better than it was now, or than it is now. Like
oh
I
no,
was
now you just
no, there was not the closest thing to open world gacha back then would have been MMOs and pulling for cosmetic mechanics. Really?
oh really?
I swore there was like, huh.
Huh. See, I didn't know that.
Cause
Like,
I mean, I guess I was like really excited for it when I saw it came out. Cause I was
mm,
like, I go far when I really like a game. Like, so when I see a game, think it's interesting. Maybe I was one of a kind then. Cause I
that's
remember
what.
being really excited when it came out.
Yeah, that's exactly why I got it interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like,
then let's look at its like midpoint. Like let's look at like I guess for now Genshin's midpoint
mm-hmm.
where um I guess halfway through the story you're getting more characters, things are kind of like I don't know if it was escalating. It
Uh,
felt like the storyline was progressing and it felt like there was way more ahead coming in.
I
I'm talking
know, but
like
like the second more came out, and it just felt like they were trying way too hard.
but
Which they are
yeah,
trying way too hard.
yeah, yeah, actually. Um, I understand that newer games did things like skipping dialogue. They also found other ways to make it more free to play friendly and stuff like that. But Genshin didn't evolve. It just changed.
It
That's the way I'm looking at
devolved, if anything, in my opinion.
it. It didn't. It slowly. What's sad is that no. What sucks is that they actually cried. From what I remember, the developers cried about saying, "Hey, like, thank you for staying by our sides. We'll promise to do better," type of thing.
Mm.
But
Well,
then
they
you look
didn't
at
do better. They didn't do
well,
better.
they
They
did some
tried
better
to do better,
quality. They did, yeah.
but
They tried. I'll give them that.
but I'll give them that. But I don't like it. Ever since Natlan came out, I feel like no, actually, I think my downfall for it started with um what's the water Freyna?
Fulton?
Fontaine, right. Ever since
Yeah.
Fontaine came out, like I feel like it started crashing down there, and then Natlan was like the final straw. Natlan
Like
was
for me,
definitely the final straw. I was like, hell no, I'm
I
not playing this anymore.
I guess I won't lie. I did enjoy Sumeru.
Mm-hmm.
Like I enjoyed that whole area. That was like
Sumeru was
that was
okay.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sumeru was okay. That was fine. Um, but what did we get before Sumeru? We had Inazuma. I loved Inazuma actually.
Inazuma. Oh my god, I love Inazuma, but I will
Inazuma,
never betray my baby girl Mondstadt. Always be my favorite.
like I remember I took a break from Genshin
Mm-hmm.
back then. Um, but this was way before Inazuma was announced. So I think there was a couple of months before Inazuma. Um,
Yeah.
and then
I
when Inazuma was first announced and I saw the characters and New World, I was like, okay, I'm back. I took a break for like 2 months.
dude, I came back every region after the region was done. I just stopped playing, and then that one was the final straw for me. I can't. I can't.
And and I feel like it's just trying too hard to copy other
It
um
is like what, especially.
especially Wua. They're I understand they're trying to find more ways to traverse. And
Mm-hmm.
technically speaking, it's an open world slash exploring slash, doing a bunch of quest thing, but it's also still a gacha game.
Yeah, I
So
mean, you are right about being like it being one of a kind. So maybe the others did copy it, but then again, they ended up being better than it, which says a lot. It
well,
says
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. I don't know for games like Honkai and ZZZ
ZCZ is
because
fire, dude. It's made by the same people, but it's so good.
it's no. Here's the thing: ZZZ has like it's meant for a certain appeal. Let's be honest.
And the appeal is fucking good, bro. I
No, but
swear.
like, come on, like we can't talk about these poses that these guys are pulling off half the time in slow motion, and you can't say
In
that it's
slow
not meant for
motion.
people.
I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining. I'm planning to play the
I
game once the
know,
character comes out.
bro. I showed you a couple characters, and you were like actually tweaking out.
Yeah, no, like, am I? Yeah, I was tweaking
Yeah.
out. I was just genuinely tweaking out. Like, I couldn't. I saw it. Like, I mean, I I like the one thing that Genshin had going, especially at its time, was the whole unique characters you'd end up having.
Mhm.
5 star or like 4 star or 5 star, um, these characters felt different. But that was like I said,
Mhm.
it was at its time. That was what it was. But then today, I don't know. I cannot speak from experience for ZZZ, Wuwa, or even Honkai.
Mhm.
But I'm wondering about like how it is because I believe you guys played all of them, I guess,
The fucking
right?
ice cream truck is back, bro.
Bro, just
I
go
just
after
hear
the ice cream truck.
do 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 do. Kind of
I
sounds like
mean,
Undertale music. Oh my god,
bro,
Undertale, dude.
shut
I
up.
remember
Bro,
Undertale.
listen, I respect the hustle.
I respect the hustle.
I
I know,
respect
right? It's just
the
all I
guys.
hear is ding 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 ding. It's tempting me like a siren, bro.
Dude, I respect the hustle, but the worst part is I would go out there on all fours and run after that ice cream truck.
Dude, this neighborhood is full of kids, dude. That sounded really strange. No, it is though. It is though. So like he is getting a hustle. I
I mean, he's gonna like. Okay, I mean, listen.
yeah.
Kids nowadays will save up their lunch money just to get that ice cream. And like,
Right.
hey, like
We
back
did that
then,
before too.
I know that's why I respect the hustle.
Dude, oh
Dude,
my
that
god, that brings me back. Like they should add more or like at least one character that like represents like something like food related in Genshin.
I mean, they
I
did
think that'd
one
be
recently.
cool. Really?
They did
Who?
no, wasn't there a chef?
Well, no, not like a chef, like actual food. Like a food like looks like a food like a character that looks like food. That's like based off of food.
Do you just want to eat them? Like, what's going on here?
No! What the hell? No. No, no, no. I just think it's cool when there's like characters that like look like food. Or
Food
like
in
based
general, or
on food.
represents, or like look in general, or just
No, like a
based on
certain
something.
one. Like a certain one. Like takoyaki, for example. Like a takoyaki girl or something.
Okay, no, okay, no, I get it. Okay,
Yeah,
no,
she has like takoyaki for like buns, like two buns. That would be really cool.
it's like I guess we're since we're talking about the models and everything, it's like you look at the models back then and um they actually stood out, right? Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
there was no other game to compete with Genshin. But the
Mm-hmm.
moment Genshin got competition, like I'm gonna say Honkai?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm gonna
Well,
say
no,
like
Honkai is made by the same people though.
right, but it's like they're competing with themselves type of
I
thing.
know, and they made it worse, bro. Genshin is not like it
But
today.
like I want to say like Genshin's like real competition was
Mm-hmm.
Wuwa.
It still is, but like what was
I mean,
clearly
obviously,
better,
Wuwa.
honestly.
Here's the thing: I don't know about Wuwa's story. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know anything about it. But oh my God, these edits, just nonstop edits of like,
There's always gonna be
and
edits, dude.
I know, but like listen. You compare an edit from Genshin and then compare an edit from Wuwa.
Edge it.
Not only like on top of like you can't tell me that the models on Wuwa have already looked better. They put a lot more effort
They've
into it.
been better, bro. They've been better.
The one thing that Wuwa doesn't have though is optimize. I don't know if it's the case now. The only reason why I don't play Wuwa is because it's not optimized for my PC, so I can't properly play the
You just
game.
have a shit PC. You
Or
just have
that,
a
you know,
shit
like,
PC.
but am I gonna actually get myself a brand new PC to play a free game? Well, it's not free anymore
I
in
mean,
the space, but
dedication. I guess.
sure,
I
sure,
guess.
sure. But like, I'm now wondering, like, has Gotcha games came to a point where it's only about characters and never about the story
Yes.
anymore?
Yes.
That like okay,
That's
because that's what I'm thinking it is.
honestly, yeah. That's been
It's
the case for a while.
it's been the case, and it's sad
Hmm.
because like a lot of games back then had like a really good story. Like I'm sure. Okay, no, I'm gonna take that back. No, am I? Because I won't lie, I did like Fontaine's story. Fontaine's story
Hmm.
was Fontaine's story was actually pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, am I a fan of Sumeru's story? Yes. Am I a fan of Inazuma's story? Yes,
Hmm.
but not as much as I fan for the rest of them. Um, Liyue and Mondstadt, I guess, sure have their own thing, but
Mondstadt
like
will
everyone,
always be my favorite. I'm too much of an OG to cheat on my baby girl Mondstadt.
but the thing is, Mondstadt has its story, but I don't think everyone remembers it. I don't remember it.
Mm, holy shit. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for the
That
follow.
scared me so bad. But wait, what were you saying?
Like, I don't think anyone knows um the Mondstadt story.
I
How do you
do,
pronounce your
dude.
name?
I've been following
How do you pronounce that
Greg,
name?
Greg, Greg, Zagrek,
Greg. Zagreb.
Zagrekif, Zagrekifi, Zagrekifi,
Zagreb. Welcome in.
Welcome in, Greg.
Can
It sounds
I
like
call you? Wait,
rug.
can I just call you Greg?
Can I call you Greg?
I think Greg might work.
Greg, alright.
I think yeah. Let's start off with Greg.
Welcome in, Greg.
Welcome in,
but,
Greg.
but, like, I always follow the story for Mondstadt. It'll always be my favorite. Like, I don't
Like
follow
I.
story. You know this. I skip everything. But not Genshin. Mondstadt. That's my baby
Mm,
girl. That's my baby
well,
girl.
okay. It's like because if there's a reoccurring thing right now, like you know how we give Wu a credit for being able to skip dialogue and everything.
Hmm.
Is it also a thing that the player base genuinely doesn't care about lore anymore?
Yeah, it's been that
Because
way. I don't care
okay,
about
then
lore.
here's the thing: you probably don't care about lore. I think the lore is kind of important in some a certain extent.
Oh, we got a
It's
long message. Hold up. Gotchas have always been about selling you a character. The character is supposed to attract a player, and hopefully that player also becomes interested in the story and world. It's easier to sell a character to a random person than try to sell world bidding. That's what I'm saying, though.
no, that
Cause, cause
you're
nobody
absolutely
cares
right.
about story. Everybody cares about like the aesthetics and the characters and like how well it plays. They don't give a shit about the lore. I'm just
Right.
saying that.
No, I mean that's actually the case. But like, is
Yeah.
gotcha now? It makes me wonder: is gotcha the right approach for a game like this? If you know what I'm trying to say. Because
Like
like
I'm
if you want to sell a story like Genshin, which is has how many regions worth of a story type of thing, right?
honestly, I'm 50-50 about it because on one hand, I don't like it. On like that hand, I also don't care about lore. But on another hand, I've gotten addicted to gacha.
But I mean that's the part of gotchas, right? That's the addiction part.
I've
You
gotten
get into
accidentally like a gambling addiction. It's not good.
literally anyone who has started playing a gotcha game has now a gambling addiction. Like I can't tell you how much I decide to say, hey, new character's out. I like new character. Take out card.
Take
Spend
out
money.
card,
Suddenly bills goes to shit, and I'm like, but I have
right?
pretty character.
But I have pretty character.
But
That's
I have
all
pretty
that
character
matters,
now.
apparently.
But like it was like don't get like here's the thing, we're all a victim in terms of this, where
We
it's
all
like
are.
either we listen, either you're a free to play player or a spender of a game, we all fell into the trap of, oh, we can roll for something and
Everybody.
not and everyone
Doesn't
can
matter
like
who
and you
you
can
are.
actually get exactly anyone can do it.
Anyone.
That that's why I thought games like it took me some time. Like it took me. I played. I guess me and Ran have been playing since the very beginning of Genshin.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like 1.0.
yeah, 1.0, like 1.0, like when we thought Diluc was the strongest thing. It's
Right.
but we also um fell into the addiction, not the addiction. I guess the trap of oh, we
The
get to keep
trap.
rolling
The
and try to
booby
get the
trap.
really powerful
Yeah.
get the we fell into the addiction of trying to catch oh not trying to catch trying to get the really strong
Gotta catch
character.
'em all.
Would we get
Yeah, we do
copyright for
that.
that?
I got off
We can
topic. I
cover.
was like, wait, you said to catch. I like gotta catch him though.
Well, here's the thing.
Pokemon.
Our, our freaking. Well, I mean, in the end of the day, our stream like doesn't have a main subject. We just tend to swap and
We
keep
tend to
going.
swap. We
'Cause,
have like a main topic in the beginning, but like it's pretty much guaranteed we'll trail off.
dude, the whole point of this is the fact that we're just gonna end up trailing off completely.
I mean,
So
I
far,
I
so
don't
far
think it's
we've
a
been
bad
staying on
thing.
the subject. No, no, no. So far we're staying on the subject because I'm trying to, and
I'm
when I
trying
don't.
to too. Oh, we still gotta talk about the FNAF video, the FNAF
Okay, okay,
lore.
okay. No,
All right,
well, oh God, okay. So
your thoughts?
now, okay, so now we're like from a game. Wait, wait, sorry. Quick question. Do you think
No.
gotchas are good for?
I
Ooh,
mean, it's like an
oh,
addiction.
that's.
It's a fun. Okay, it's fun for a little bit, but like money wise and like addiction wise, no.
But wait, Ren. Sorry. Jesus. In terms of like the way I'm seeing this, is gotchas good for the gaming industry as a whole? I feel like it's the gotcha games are cash grabs.
That's all they are.
And cash grabs are, if I'm going to put an umbrella term for the word cash grab, it's just like, I don't think the idea of a cash grab is a good idea to begin with.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll get that hoe out of here.
uh,
Bye.
um,
Anyways.
okay. Um, having, but the thing is, the thing is, you can't, I guess a gaming industry can't survive. Sorry, within a gaming industry, there will always be a cash trap. Oh, sorry, in any industry in general, I
Mm.
believe there will always be a cash trap.
I mean, okay, I'm just gonna say it's okay for some cash grab because, every game's trying to make money, you know? Like, there's gotta be, like, some type of thing you can, like, I don't know, pay for or buy in a game. Yeah, they're just trying to make money, but gotcha games are made to get money from you. That's why they're
Yeah,
called gotcha
yes.
games. That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
yes, yes, but at the same time, like you could always be free to play.
You could be.
Like, wait, but do you think we should regulate gotchas or allow the access to? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That is a good question.
Oh, that's a good question.
Um,
Like, what are your thoughts, Ro?
uh,
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think.
to regulate. What do you mean by regulate? Like,
I, I would assume maybe have more laws behind them.
true. I do think, um, oh, jeez, I do think, like, we should regulate them in some ways because the amount of money. Hold on, let me just Google this to verify real quick.
Because I would like to think this a gotcha game. I guess the idea of a gotcha game is to play a game where you can
Ren,
have what?
Genshin has made over 6.3 billion.
Oh my gosh.
Billion? 6.3. Yeah, we need to shut this shit
Well,
down.
no, no.
They are
Okay,
billionaires,
no, no,
bro.
okay. Maybe not shut it down, but like
Not shut it
regulate
down,
it.
but
As
like
like
they're
regulate.
billionaires.
No, no. I think is
Regulate.
I'm going to agree. Yes, we should regulate gotcha games
Oh my
because
gosh.
honestly, it promotes. Oh, hello.
아, 안녕하세요.
Don't make me say that.
안녕하세요. 똑같지 않았어요?
I'm out of this. I can't speak Korean.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I got you,
It's
bro.
what are you saying?
Oh, you just said hello. 안녕하세요.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. In terms of like I said, in terms of regulating it, yes, 100%. But how do we regulate a game that's meant to be like I guess a random
반갑습니다. Sorry.
like to be wait, what did they say?
They said nice to meet you. They're like some type of novel thingy, right?
What now? Sorry.
A
Oh, okay.
web novel writer?
Oh, okay. Um,
What were you saying?
Okay, so should how do you things how do you regulate a game that involves randomness and people wanting to have that randomness in it? And
That's
things-
true.
people like gotcha games because people will keep trying to pull, and who knows what you get, right? It's pretty like I mean the whole idea of a gotcha is from the machine where you're just putting a coin in and you never know what toy you get. There's a chance of getting whatever toy you want, but you never know
Yeah,
what you get.
that is
So how do
gambling
you
though.
That's technically gambling. So I believe in the way we regulate gotcha games is the same way we should regulate, I don't know, online poker. I don't know how that works though, but like
Mm,
just like online gambling in general. Because it's sad. It's not just sad. It's just like it's taking advantage of people who just doesn't know better. Like I'm gonna take myself as an example. The
mm-hmm.
amount of money I've dropped into gotcha games shows that like I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I wanted the pretty character, so it was just a very easy
Right.
grab. And
That's
I don't
that's
know if
all
it's
they're really doing though, because gotcha games
right.
are made to, like get you, like gotcha,
I
like
guess sure
money.
if you want to keep like
That's
yeah.
how I see it.
And the
Listen.
thing is, and the thing is, while at the machine, it's just maybe a pretty penny or a pretty coin just to like put
Mm-hmm.
it in there. We're talking about like we're talking about
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if
yeah,
we're
yes.
oh wait, what did I say? Gambling isn't easy. It's just to many to teens and women. Exactly. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is, the moment you like, let's just say as a young adult, the moment you start getting your first paycheck, the moment you start making your own income, it's you don't. It's too easy to just say, "Oh, I have money now. I can just spend it as I please." So no,
Mm-hmm.
how would I? I'm sorry. How would you want me to pronounce your name? I'm not going to. I'm not going to try to
Fen?
butcher it. Fen.
Fen?
Fen is good. I I I'd like to ask. Fen's okay.
Fen
Okay.
is okay.
Well, welcome. Well, hi, Fen. How are you?
Hi, Fen.
Like, um, like it's sad because it's too easy to, as Fen mentioned, it's too accessible and it's too easy to get the young adults and just even kids. Like the amount of kids, like I can imagine how. Imagine this. Imagine a kid walking up to you, is like, "Hey, do you mind getting me a 10 pull or whatever, so I
Mm-hmm.
can get this character?" The thing is, the thing about gotcha games is that it's never guaranteed, right? So the
Yeah,
fact that it's
right. I
never
mean, that's
guaranteed,
the that's the point though. Like they get your money because it's not guaranteed. That's what gambling is.
but
You
is
know?
it health? But the thing is now, is it healthy?
No.
That
We've
is
been
definitely not
known
healthy.
this, obviously.
No, that's no. It's not healthy. It's not
Obviously.
healthy at all. Like I said, like I will not discuss how much money I've personally spent on Genshin personally, and
Yeah. I'm not gonna disclose mine either.
I'm not going to like I'm not trying to promote. Hey, guys should stop, or you guys
Hmm.
should. This is just a podcast for opinions in general, right?
Yeah, this is
So
our thoughts on it.
this is just our
Like,
thoughts on it. So, like I said, we're not here to promote anything. We're just trying to like get
not
some truth
promoting
into
or
people's.
like canceling, just saying like, hey, yeah,
Let's
this
get some
is
truth out.
what the fuck we think. And
Let's
honestly,
get some truth out.
I think everyone's opinions are valid when it comes to like things that aren't that serious, like games and shit like that.
No, 100%. Like the thing is, I would the one thing that I like, the one thing that Genshin gave to me as a person was something to look forward to every time I would come
Hmm.
by after work. Like
That's how
after
it
work, I would
used to
sit
be.
down.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how it used to be for me too.
Like whether it was Genshin, Wua, anything, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Do you like romance? Yeah, I actually love romance depending on what it is. It really
yeah,
depends.
depending on what it is,
Yeah, it depends.
it's like it always gave you something to do when you got home. Whether, like I said, it was Wua, ZZZ,
Hmm.
any other gotcha games, right? You'd sit down, waste a couple. Well, I'm just saying waste. You'd sit down, spend a couple of hours or a couple of minutes just doing whatever you wanted to do. Suddenly, maybe there's an event that you can play, and then your reward was you get the randomness of getting a new character, and everybody wanted that. And then that was pretty. I mean, that was fun. But now I feel like we're getting wiser about things, and the fact that we're getting wiser about it, we're realizing I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, I felt that way in like 4.0, 3.0. I
right?
started
Right.
feeling that way during then, but 1.0 it didn't feel like there was a problem with it because it was
Right.
just so good at that
But
point.
but the thing is, like I said, with 1.0, there was nothing of its kind,
Mm.
right? So that's how it was just an easy grab. That's the way I'm seeing it. No one really played a game like this before.
Mm.
And then because we weren't aware of how much gotcha games no, no,
Ah.
we were aware about gotcha games in general, but we didn't know we were too naive hopping in. So no, Fen, that's actually a great question in terms of like allowing
Mm-hmm.
it to exist. The thing is, but the thing is, in terms of allowing it to exist, that's wait. I will
Oh,
publicly announce I spent $1,000 in 6 months on a gotcha game name. I think I've heard of that. And then
Mormons?
it's and think that no kid or teen should be allowed to have access to games like that. But also,
Honestly, I
everyone,
agree. Like it's
how
like
the
for
thing is how
kids
do
and teens though. Like I agree with that.
here how do you regulate this?
Mm, I'm
How
not
would you
sure.
regulate something like this? Because okay, I'm gonna mention now. My way of regulating it might sound a little harsh,
Mm-hmm.
but it also might. I don't know if this makes any sense. Put it under a paid subscription.
That's adding on to the
No, no, no,
problem.
no. It's not. It's not. Think of it. Think about this. By adding a paid subscription, this means this
Ah,
person is aware of what they're.
감사합니다. What?
Sorry, adding a paid subscription means that person is aware that they're getting what they're getting themselves into. They have to firstly have an income,
Mm,
right? By and then
감사합니다.
by having an income, meaning this person should be wise
Mm?
enough to keep. No, okay, forget about the
But like,
wise.
isn't the
No,
paid
no,
subscription like adding on to the problem though?
it's right. But by doing that, not everyone would be interested in putting their livelihoods on pulling characters. So the, for
Yeah,
those
but
so for those who are more interested into it, will actually put money into the subscription. Yes, that's gonna give them more money, but it's gonna turn off a lot of people. Like imagine having a game that like a game comes out saying, "Oh, it's a complete gotcha game," but to play the game you have to pay monthly.
hmm.
Then you would turn off so many people of playing it.
Mm, I don't
Not
know. A lot of people
everyone.
spend money for gotcha games regardless of what it is. I'm
That's
not. I
well,
don't
it's
know.
true. Well, it's true. I don't think it's a good. I don't think it's a good idea. But like,
It's not.
well, because the thing is, if you make a game that's free, everyone's gonna hop into it, and when you get everyone in, you can target every demographic. But if a
Mm.
game is not free, you can't target just any demographic. You target the people who are dedicated.
The ice cream truck is back.
Actually,
It's
been the highlight
back,
of the
bro.
stream.
It's been like
No,
it's been like going back and forth in front of my house.
but Fan, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Actually, no, like
Yeah, thank you. That's a lot to
thank you for being
type.
interactive. Actually, that's a lot to type. But thank you for being interactive, though. Like this is technically our first stream, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Dude, I need a drink. Don't mind my bottle.
Yeah,
Gonna
yeah,
gulp.
fine. I mean, I have pickle juice. I'll go with that.
You said pickle juice while I was drinking.
I was thinking that maybe having any games with a gambling mechanic allows the use of real money. So
Heavily, really. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's the one I agree on. I agree with that.
right,
I agree with that.
but the amount of times. Oh no, of course, fam. The whole point of this is to yap. It's a
Yeah, the whole
podcast
point.
after
That's the
all.
whole point.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
Um, here's the sad reality of what you just mentioned, fam. I don't think the rating matters.
Mm-mm.
It shouldn't matter because when I don't I know when you advertise something as example an M for mature type of thing, who goes to say that there's not an 8-year-old behind the game?
Yeah, who's to say that he doesn't just say, hey, yeah, I'm born in like 2000. Let me in.
Yeah,
Who's to
like
say he just
that.
doesn't do that?
So now it comes down to is the game rating flawed?
Mm-hmm.
No, the game rating is absolutely completely flawed because anyone can lie about their age. Like you can go on Steam,
Mm. Mm.
set a legal age, and get any game you want.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm
So
saying. Like, it's a good thought, but it's like easy to bypass, right?
right. So it's a good idea though.
Mm-hmm.
But first we would have to fix the rating system.
Mm-hmm.
Because like let's be real, how many of us got on sites that we weren't supposed to when we were kids? It always happened.
It always
Like I'm just
happens.
gonna be
It's a canon
I'm just
event.
gonna be
It's a
honest.
canon event.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like how does the person who shows this to you knows that you are not of age, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, maybe what we could do is be like, okay, let's show legal documentation,
Mm-hmm.
etc. Sure, but who says there's not a way around that?
Yeah, there's always a way around things.
There's always a way around it. But the thing is it healthy for the gaming industry? No, but it will
No,
always be part of the gaming industry. The
that's facts. Facts.
the free to play game, the thing is, the free to play games need to specifically free to play games have
Mm-hmm.
to find ways to make money to continue making content. If the game was completely free, the game would never evolve
Right.
because they would have no funds to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I mean, I agree with that. Like sometimes the rating does matter, but at the same time, nowadays it's so easy to just bypass things that I feel like no matter like the age rating or like bypass things or like verification, it's still gonna be pretty fairly easy to bypass that.
unfortunately, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's too bad because like let's just take let's just take older games, right? Let's just think of like games like
Right.
Pokemon, where it was literally meant for everybody. Let's just take as an example. But it
Don't you
takes more
think it would
effort.
be? Probably not nowadays. I don't think so.
But if it takes more effort to sign a 20...
Discourage. I
No,
wouldn't. No.
no, I wouldn't think so either.
No.
Because I'm gonna talk from experience, even for myself. When I saw a game that was above my age rating,
Mm-hmm.
I would go out of my way to find a way to play it.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I had a game called Diablo, and and I had
Mm-hmm.
to find a way to. I don't mean like listen. I had a copied version of it, but the only way to get it was showing your age group and sorry, your age and everything. Um, so with all
That's a
that,
crazy name.
that's a
Hi.
wild name. So having that, um, it's I find it's way too easy to bypass the age group unless it's in person. Like
Mm-hmm.
the difference back then and now is that back then you would have to go to the store and buy the game, and the clerk is responsible to sell you a game if you're old enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't old enough, the clerk had the right to refuse to get you the
Mm.
game.
What's going on? We're
So
talking about gotcha games and like how it affects gambling and like kids and stuff. Right now, at least.
yeah, and but nowadays you can buy games online at a store where
Mm-hmm.
there's no one who can stop you but a screen.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can just get bypast the screen, it doesn't matter if it genuinely doesn't matter if this person is
Like,
of age or not.
it's just crazy to me that like Genshin has made 4.3 billion, bruh.
Dude,
4.3
4.3.
billion. It's
Have any idea what
crazy.
I can do? You have ice? Yeah, do you have how much
Dude,
ice
a
cream we can get with
billionaire?
4.3?
Ice cream,
Dude,
that's all I care about.
that ice cream truck would be rich.
I know.
Would you mind translating that?
Hmm? Ah? Oh, yeah, I do know Korean. There, there.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm out of it. Like I don't know. Okay, okay,
Mm.
listen. What if we have an app store? It's like, what if we have an app store that needs a valid ID of a country that you're from to have access and that is a great
Mm.
idea. In my
That
opinion,
is a good idea.
that is a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, what if there's like a mature category in like the app store and you need to have like
Right.
the card for the mature category? That's
hmm That
good.
that's a good idea.
That's
I think that would
good.
be because I hate to say this, and this is also for those who actually want to like. who actually want to dedicate themselves to like playing games
Mm-hmm.
along those lines, right? You have to. I think it's necessary to do the extra steps to get a game that's a little bit more sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say sensitive, it could be, certain contents, it could be gambling, it could be anything of those sorts. Like, just imagine this. Imagine a 5-year-old picking up a phone and learning how to play poker, right?
Right,
That's
right.
that's just
That's
asking for trouble. That's just asking
right,
for
right.
trouble.
That was kind of funny to
But like, it's
imagine,
a
but
free to
yeah,
play game, right? That's the
it is
problem. If
free to
it's a free
play,
to play
right,
game, a lot of people have access. Yeah. But like,
right.
so that's why I thought maybe not having the free to play aspect of the game might discourage people.
Oh shit.
Well, yes, yes. While they still have
Okay.
to make money, like I understand, whilst people still have to make money,
Yeah, they have to make money, but like
yeah,
4.3 billion is crazy. And the fact that it's access to like people like that though, or like
hmm,
kids like that, like
it's
in the age range. It's
it.
accessible though.
Like I said, I understand. Like I said, we already thought that Genshin is a complete cash grab. It's
Mhm.
it's like we are. I don't want to call it like we were. No, I don't want to call this. But making money from people who are of age. Actually.
Actually developed a frontal lobe. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
here's the thing: at a certain age, you make your own money, and it's up to you to choose what you do with it. Yes,
Mhm.
it's you may not use it for the right reasons. Yes, you may use it for the right reasons. We're
Mhm.
like, who are we? Who's anyone to decide what you do with your own money? But um, I feel like that's the target audience you should hit instead of hitting younger kids or younger teens, most importantly, for people who don't make their own income.
Mhm. Right, right, right.
And
That's like the whole
and
point of it though. Like you're
and most
not you can't
importantly,
you shouldn't yeah, like have access to a gambling game if you don't even make your own, finances, you know? Like if
because
you can't even do that.
gambling is an addiction, right?
It is.
So if we're going to class gambling as an addiction, we can technically class it as a substance. Close enough,
Mhm.
right? So with that in mind, it just, you know, we can see how addictive it's going to get. I
Mhm.
understand companies need to make money. I just think that I don't like it. Exactly. I have to agree with
Mhm.
that. Like,
Mhm.
no one likes it, but their hustle is actually,
It's
it,
insane. It's
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 insane.
insane.
It's actually insane. Like, the person who thought that saying, "Hey, having a gotcha game is a good idea,"
Mhm.
made a lot of money.
Mhm.
Made a lot of money. And I mean, think of it like this. Think of the guy who made the water bottle, who decided to put water in a bottle and like sell it.
Right.
Right? Like, people who think of it first and make money off of it are just geniuses.
Mhm. Right.
But um, like I said, while they have to make money,
Mhm.
it's a little it's a little absurd for gotcha game. Sorry, while gotcha games have to make money somehow, it's crazy that that's their way of making money.
Mhm.
If
Right,
you
right.
understand what I mean?
I mean,
Like, kind
it's
of
it's crazy, but it works, you know? It
it it
works.
te- it's technically feeding off an addiction. Well, I mean, that's why you have dealers and stuff,
I
right?
mean,
But like,
that's why it works, right?
that's why it
It's an
works.
addiction. That's why it works.
Right. Yes, well, like
Right.
like I said, we'll talk about the negative stuff about it, but I'm sure there's always a positive thing. And
Games
hustle is
approach making
actually
money
damaging the
too.
way games are trying to make
That's true. But like it's becoming the norm because it works and it's annoying, honestly.
No, it's very annoying. Like, sometimes I remember certain games were like really good at first until it became some type of rolling gotcha game.
Mm.
I don't know if any of you guys are a fan or if you guys heard, but games like Overwatch. At some point, the game seriously just became a cash grab. You can only play old characters if you spent money, or there was some type of rolling system in there to get your
Mhm.
cosmetics. So you couldn't even get the things you wanted. You would have to gamble on getting the things you'd like. So now you're just dropping even more money on a game that
Mhm.
originally wasn't meant to be a gotcha game. So games that are
Right.
not gotcha games are now taking the gotcha trend and making it
They
a
are,
complete,
bro.
yeah,
Games
they're
that
just making it a
originally
complete,
don't focus on gambling or gotcha are now most likely,
yeah. are now most likely gotcha game. Like has
Right.
like bits of gotcha in there. So
Right.
gotcha games has also shaped the industry. Who's in who wants a new
Right.
Persona storyline behind? See, exactly. Like when you think of the like I overheard there was a new Persona coming out. Now I'm learning it's a gotcha game, if I'm not mistaken. And that's sad because apparently I overheard the Persona storylines were really good. And the game was had a very big fan base. And I'm sure it would have hit this fan base really hard, knowing that your game is now a gotcha game.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, now imagine this. Imagine playing the
Genshin
regular
Impact's
Pokemon. Oh,
developer.
sorry.
Wow.
No, wow, what the hell?
What the
I mean,
hell?
I don't
I
know
mean,
that. I
that's
mean,
not really a surprise, to be honest.
it's not really a
That's not
surprise
really
with
a
the money to
surprise.
me. But like,
Right.
but just imagine this. Take Pokemon an example. Like, I guess like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can all take Pokemon as an easy example. Where imagine we had that game, but suddenly to get the Pokemon you want is a complete gamble, and you have to spend money on it.
Mm-hmm.
No one would want to play anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But because Genshin came out as original gacha game, everyone thinks it's the norm.
Yeah, everyone doesn't see the problem with it because that's how it was made to be, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sadly, though.
CSGO.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. In terms of CS:GO, in terms of the way I don't know how exactly it works. Because I know what
Mm.
it's about. I played the game a long, long time ago. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
any good. Um, but the way I think, if I'm not mistaken, the way CS:GO worked was you'd have a key and a loot box, and then to open up the loot box, you need a certain key for that loot box. Um, Cocaine, please correct me if I'm wrong. Like I believe you might know a little more, but the way it works is once you open up that loot box, you have a gambling system or something that will, um, I guess, a randomizer to get a randomized skin that you can get within that type of loot box, whether you get the skin or not. And then from there, people can. The thing is, it's on Steam, so people can actually spend money to buy these skins.
Mm.
So,
Gambling is everywhere now, dude.
oh no, gambling's everywhere now.
It's
Like I understand
everywhere.
gambling. It's like I understand it's a sensitive topic. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
that's cosmetics, not actual characters and mechanics, right? But the thing is, no, you're absolutely right. Sorry, Fen. No, you're absolutely right. Because in terms of Genshin, what we're spending on is actually um, bettering the mechanics of
Mm-hmm.
our account. While
Mm-hmm.
for CS:GO, it's just a complete cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
No, so no, the cosmetic. I won't lie. I think the idea of a gambling system for a cosmetic is worth it, and I
Yeah, it
think
is
that's
still
not a bad.
gambling.
But it's still gambling,
It's
but
still
it's better.
gambling.
But it's better. It's better than having to gamble on a mechanic of the
Hi,
game.
Mush. And I
Hey,
agree,
much.
I agree. I think I'm kind of 50-50 with it, to be honest. I'm 50-50. Like, I'm not going to go
Well,
out there and tell you to not play it, but I'm also not
pretty
going
much
to tell you to, like, encourage you to play it, you know? I'm
one
not
hundred
on
percent,
either side.
100%. Spend your money responsibly, guys.
Spend it or don't spend it. I'm not here to teach you.
Spend like basically get what you want. Just
Do what you want.
oh, do what
This
you
is our
want.
opinion.
This is just our opinion. Just do what you want with your
I'm not
money.
your
Just
mom. Go
don't.
on.
It's but it's like I said, it's kind of it does make sense where um like
Mm,
it doesn't it doesn't make any sense where you would have to use a gambling system to promote a new mechanic
mm-hmm.
of a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say certain parts of the content can only be accessible if you have X and Y character. Now you got to spend money or try to gamble for something that you don't have something guaranteed to use to continue. Now you're
Mm-hmm.
stuck. So that
Right.
kind of ruins it. And for me,
Mm.
if we're gonna go back to Genshin, for me that's what happened with Not One. I wanted to go free to
Right,
play.
right, dude. Oh my god, Natlan ruined everything for me.
Like I wanted to go free to play, but the thing about going free to play means that you don't have all these characters to continue going versus these enemies that require not one characters. But by having these not one characters, you can continue. You can make your game experience more
I
smoothly.
think there is Smush.
But you can't compare gambling to skins of gambling to a character. No, Fen, you're absolutely right. Like I
Yeah,
said, you're absolutely right.
you can compare it though. I mean, it's both gambling, but you can compare it.
Yeah, but one allows you to progress through the game, and the other one it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
one actually helps you
So
and the other one doesn't.
I believe the one that doesn't is I think it's fine. I think that's okay. Like I'm personally a very big TCG player, so I
Mm-hmm.
like to play card games. So I'm obviously buying packs of cards, never knowing what I'm gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
And does it help me in the long run? No, but it also increases my collection.
Oh
Hey,
my god,
I'm fine
that's
with
me with
that.
Pokemon cards, bro. Oh my
Yeah, that's
gosh.
it, right? That's
Right.
it. Let's see. Hold on. Let me just look at chat real quick.
Makes you
Um,
gamble for a chance to
I don't think
continue the story. I actually don't know if there is one like that. Is there? I'm
I don't
not
think there's a game
sure. Because that would flabbergast me too.
for you gamble have a chance. Well, here's the thing. Well, I don't want to like. And this is what I was talking about in terms of I guess Genshin Impact. Just one of the more recent worlds that came out was I guess part of the games was a place called Natlan, and you would have to have certain characters from that region
Oh, you're right.
to do certain damages or doing certain things to help you
Right.
kill something faster.
That's
My
the bad
problem with
thing
that,
about Natlin is because it's gambling city. It's gambling city. That's all it's good
yeah,
for.
it wasn't the case before that. So then we had a couple of more worlds prior. Yes, they had a niche mechanic to help with the game, but in the end of the day, it didn't affect it as much. You can still move
Mm-hmm.
forward without the niche mechanic. Now, with that niche mechanic, your characters are not obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
You actually have to have that mechanic in your team if you want to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Or move forward easily. Like I don't know if you guys could still move forward
Natlin,
or not.
like, I understand that they made Natlin like four Natlin characters, but it kind of made it like practically like inaccessible to characters that aren't Natlin.
Gacha games have gotten this bad. Well, here's the thing. Like I said, we're not trying to
Mm-hmm.
completely bash on all gacha games because
Mm-hmm.
in the end of the day, I'm still a gacha game lover. Like
We're
I'm not
speaking
going to.
facts. We're just speaking
We're just
facts.
we're just speaking facts.
We're just
But
speaking facts.
uh, if it hasn't gotten that it hasn't gotten bad, maybe, but not all games are so. I think there is such a thing as a gacha game that doesn't have a paywall.
There is. It's
There's
just
multiple. I
they
can't think of
make it
any. I've seen some though.
I think the furthest they go is make it an option, but everybody uses it, like Genshin.
Exactly.
I mean, if you really think about it, most gotcha games are optional. It's the
Mhm.
person that decides to spend money on it.
If I make a boss and that boss is really hard to get used to character against me, but at the same time releases characters that make it easier to lock behind gotcha games, I think it's healthy. No, that's my point, Fen. That's exactly my point.
Mm,
Yeah, the Fen was just kind of like reassuring my point.
mm-hmm.
It's a little bit like that at the moment for Genshin, and unfortunately, this is why I decided to step down from Genshin. Maybe
Yeah,
not
me too, me
permanently.
too. Not
Like
permanently, but I'm just not playing it right now.
I'm just not playing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun to know that I can't progress forward. I can't progress like normally without getting something that I have to either pay for or have
Mm-hmm.
to gamble my way through. Because even if you
Right.
gamble it, you're not guaranteed to get it. That's the worst part. I trade Genshin
That's what
Impact.
grabs your money.
I don't. I'm sorry. I trade Genshin Impact. It sucks. I don't get why people spend money on it. Well, here's the thing. Spending money is an addiction,
Mm-hmm. It's
right?
part of what makes a
Spending
gotcha game a gotcha game.
exactly. Spend it's like I said. Are we here to promote that? No,
No.
but at the same time, let's speak facts, right? People will
Let's be
spend
facts.
like let's people. How many times have you bought something that just sat in your room
Mm-hmm.
and you just
I
never?
my room is full of that shit. I'm such a
You see
hypocrite
what
right now. It's just
exactly,
everywhere.
but exactly right. Even I'm
Mm-hmm.
the same, right? Like I've gotten some stuff that just sit in my room, right? Then it kind of becomes the same thing. One day, some of us will like one day we'll get older and we're gonna forget about this game, and we don't realize that we spend thousands of dollars on.
Oh, user
something.
maybe
Object fun.
gets you. Yeah, it helps you, but you don't need it. Yeah, exactly. Most gotcha games are like, um, they're they're optional, but
Hmm.
people say it's pay to win when it's not. They just have a gambling addiction. Every gotcha game is optional. Every gotcha game is
No.
optional.
Wait, is that the case now, where every gotcha
It's
game is
optional.
optional?
We just have a gambling addiction. It's optional. uh,
Like, because I'm thinking, yeah, a lot of people. So,
yeah, exactly.
sun gloves and shit on my wall. Well, exactly. No, no, you like. I guess you get
It's
it, Bush.
everywhere.
Like,
It's everywhere.
it's everywhere, right? But the thing is,
Right.
it's always having the nice thing. The way I like to see it, and it's something that my coworker mentioned actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's always about having the nice thing that's for you, right?
Right.
Sometimes, let's just say, as a for me as a TCG player, like since I like to play card games,
Right. Me too. Me too.
there's obviously the card itself,
Mm-hmm.
and then the pretty version of that same card.
The
Some
pretty
people
version.
want that. Some people want that pretty version just for themselves, but like
Mm-hmm.
maybe if you're lucky, you pull it. Maybe you're lucky, you pull it and you keep it.
Mm-hmm.
But some people just want to have that pretty thing, and
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong in my opinion about satisfying that little pretty thing that you want.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage it. Like, listen, if there's something, listen, I don't. The world is hard enough, right?
Well,
So
okay, if you think about it, buying cosmetics is not gambling. Because you get it if you pay for it. You get what you pay for. Gambling is paying for something and not sure if you're going to get it. Cosmetics are not gambling. So I find cosmetics alright.
but thing is, sometimes they'll push the cosmetic to be something like a gamble. Like, let's just say there's these pretty. I'm just gonna take much as example, right? So let's just say
Mm
there's this very pretty gloves that you want.
hmm. Mm hmm.
How much are you going to gamble to get those gloves? You understand
That
what I
doesn't
mean?
make any sense. What?
But the thing is, like, no, no, okay. Let's just say, like, because this is, like I said, the gloves are just a cosmetic, right?
Uh,
Right, but then you really want it, but the only way to get it is via a gambling system.
yeah, but that's my point. Like, it's most cosmetics in games, like skins and stuff, you pay for and
Right.
you directly get. That's what I'm saying. Like, those are okay. You're not wasting away your
Oh,
time
oh,
and
okay, okay,
money
okay, okay.
just to get
Wait,
something you might not even get.
that you directly get, and like avoiding
Yeah, the
gambling.
cosmetic, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. No, no, that makes more sense. No, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought you meant it in a gambling
No,
approach.
no, no, no. Like,
No, no.
cosmetic buying is not gambling.
Okay, okay, no, no. That absolutely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you put a spinning wheel under with gloves, and easy to say, $30. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
See, do you see what I mean? Like, it's it's nice to say, "Hey, I have an opportunity." Oh, wait a minute. Do you
Hmm?
think it's the idea of having an opportunity to get something that you know you guys wouldn't get,
Yeah, that's what gambling is.
technically speaking?
By the
Like,
way, let's just say you
uh,
had the money you spent on games. Gotcha. Would you be giving the I mean,
oh,
that's you say that, but yeah, that's true. But when you're speaking to someone with a gambling addiction, they have no choice. Yes, they feel that way. Yes, they don't want to, but at the same time, it's kind of like instinct at that point. That's what
but
an
now,
addiction is.
but
That's
now
what
that
an
I'm thinking
addiction
about it, no,
is.
no, no, wait. Ren, so like think of it like this. Imagine you had that same amount of money in your hands right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on, let me just reread just to make sure I'm getting this right. Had the money in your hands, do you think you'd be giving? Would you? Okay, let's just say you had the same amount of money you spent on your Genshin account in your hands. Would you? Would you be able to give that much same amount of money away easily, just like how you did it
In
at
one
a?
go?
I guess so. Let's go with that.
In one go? Hell no.
But that's basically what we did. But in the long run.
That is what we did in the long run.
So like if I were to look at how
Thousands
much I
of dollars,
spend,
dude.
good.
I
Hold on,
don't understand that whether I'm spending it from card to crush values, skill and willingness. No, I totally get that, Bush. That is so me.
no.
I get that. I get that.
because because if I were to look at how much money it would be that I used to spend on Genshin itself, because
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's the only gacha I played, and I put it in my hands and think like, oh, would I give that all back to my account, or like would I do
Right.
that? Would I willingly do it? No. Oh my gosh, no. You have any idea what I'd be doing with that money? Like,
Right, right.
oh my, like no. See now, if you put it in that perspective, it makes
Mm-hmm.
absolute sense. Like I wouldn't be able to do so. But maybe it's because I don't have a, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
diagnosed gambling addiction. But like,
Diagnosed.
no, I'm sure it has to be
Diagnosed.
diagnosed.
I'm
Well,
sure.
because some
No,
people, no,
there's an
because we can
addiction,
clearly
but there's no
say,
like, no, there's not like a disorder for it.
I don't, wouldn't you guys think it
Is
would be a
gambling
disorder?
addiction a disorder?
I think so. Is it?
Is it? Is it actually
I want,
diagnosed as a disorder?
I want to think it's a disorder. Hold on, let me
Really?
check.
Google it.
Is gambling? Wait, hold on. Is a addiction a disorder? It is a disorder.
Oh, it is a disorder. All right. Well, that's
It
another
is.
one
It
to add to
is.
the list.
No, no, no. We're just adding disorder. Okay. I'd say it's been sunglasses. I'd say I
Honestly, I
spend.
get that. I get that. I would also feel that way.
Hmm. Mush, it's signed. You say it was signed gloves, right? I feel like that'd be a little bit different because I think
Hmm.
I
It's not gambling.
here. What I'll say right now is that I don't think you would have a reason to feel bad for that. If you understand what I mean, because this is something like sentimental. I would think it's probably something sentimental to you. Like no one else has. I'm not gonna say you're not the only person with signed gloves from this specific fighter, but what I'm trying to say is, um, you actually have something that is signed from someone you either looked up to, or someone that you like
Um,
as you speak.
uh, um, I mean, gambling is still gambling no matter what it is, you know?
Hmm.
Wait,
Is gambling
I'm gonna
bad?
add.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, never mind. All right, we're good. We're good.
Okay, okay. Okay, is gambling bad if you make money off
I mean, it's still
poker?
gambling.
Ooh.
Yeah, gambling is never really good.
Ooh, wait a minute. I have a different opinion on that one. I might have a different opinion on that. Okay, is gambling bad if you can make money off of it, like poker? If hmm, it's a matter, so is does this really become gambling
I
now?
mean, it technically is. Gambling is gambling. I
No,
mean, poker is
gambling,
gambling.
poker is gambling, but the thing
Poker
is,
is
if
gambling.
if we're looking at professional poker players, like in a general way, like why do we
Mm-hmm.
have professional poker players, right?
I mean, that's still
They're
gambling, though.
it's I guess it's the
Technically, you're
idea of
putting
if you
money in for something you're not sure what's going to come out. That's gambling, pretty much.
is it
Yeah,
because
putting money into something you're not sure what's going to come back to you. That's gambling.
mm, hold on, let me just read some of these. Gambling is never getting enough a chance of making money off of it. The thing is, I agree with what Fen said, but
Mm-hmm.
I actually think poker is different. I don't know how to explain why poker is different, but I
I can
think
understand how you see it's different, but it is still gambling in the end.
okay. So let's just take the professional version of gambling
All right.
then. Wait, hold on. I guess there's a word where I have money for something you want to steal. Same with gambling word. Well, much the way I want to see it is it's something more sentimental, right? So think of it not as a gamble, think of it as a novelty.
Yeah, it's more like a cosmetic than a gamble.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
I don't think there's
that's
any
what I'm
reason.
saying. Yeah, like
Okay, again,
cosmetics are not gambling. Cosmetics are
yeah,
fine. I don't mind
but
cosmetics.
but
You
it
can
wouldn't
beat the
make
house with
small bit.
poker, but it's,
But but I
that
wouldn't.
make
I
people.
make a small business gambling.
Yeah, mush. Yeah, that's the thing about gambling with like games like poker where you win a chance of like money. That gets you even more addicted to gambling because you realize that you get something from it. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's where the idea of an addiction comes, right?
That's
It's like you
that's
get a
the idea of the addiction. Yeah,
that right. That's you get a high from it, right?
you get a
Like
high
if we're gonna
from
go back to the
right.
whole, if you're gonna go back from the Genshin thing, the moment you pull a 5 star, you get that high where you see that little glowing, that orange glow, knowing that you pulled
Mm-hmm.
something, and then
Right.
you want to keep doing it again. You just want to keep having these 5 stars that you keep wanting to have. So think of it like blackjack or any other game where you bet on something that I don't know what you did, if you had control or no control over the outcome, but know that you can actually get it. So honestly, I've played poker and
Right. Right.
blackjack
Right.
for stakes and playing with them. Just with people, the vibe, interest. See, that is fire. I feel like mush. That's absolutely a fair thing you can do. Where
Mm-hmm.
if we're talking about like poker and there's nothing at stake, the idea of putting something at stake is
Is what
the
makes it
scary part,
gambling.
right? But the thing is,
Right.
yeah, right, exactly,
Right. Right. Right.
exactly. I, but the
Stars
thing
make
is,
me swoon.
it,
Right.
it's oh god, I could never with gacha games. The sparkle and the stars make me.
They make
Well,
me
like I
swoon
said,
and goon, bro.
dude, in the end of the day, like in the end of the day, it's fun. It's fun to really just step back and take a look at like, oh, are these games healthy or not, or something like that, or along like, or maybe finding opinions about games in general, right?
Mm.
Um, because while we're all aware that the whole idea of gotcha games slash gambling games or whatever you want to call it, um, are bad for you. We still do them. We're still doing them. That
We're
doesn't. It's not
still
that we
doing
don't
them.
stop.
That's the idea.
Like like we're not. It's not that we're forcing. It's not that we're forced to stop. It's just like we just naturally gravitate towards it. Um,
No,
well, for
Mush, I
those who do,
completely
but
get
no,
that. No, no, I agree with that. I agree with
yeah,
that.
I did think about it. Oh, sorry, I generally like to think about it, and if anyone could win a poker game, like,
Casinos would allow it.
ooh.
Hmm?
Wait, are we getting? Okay, wait. Question: Are we getting touchy now? Because like now we're involving casinos and everything.
We're
So we
involving
went from Genshin.
casinos. Should we move on
Okay,
to
hold on.
FNAF?
Wait. Wait, I want to touch on it though. I do want to touch on it. Are we
Alright,
okay
alright,
to touch
alright,
on
alright.
that? Like, are we okay to talk about that on Twitch?
Are we okay?
Anyone know?
I mean, as long
Like,
as we're
this is
not
technically,
promoting it, right?
yeah, yeah. As long as I understand we're not promoting it, but like, this is technically gamble talk. So, does anyone
Yeah.
know? Like, before we promote, before not promote, before
Promote
we,
before we
uh,
promote.
sorry, I mean, before we move forward with that, like, I want to know like if it's safe or not. Because at first, like I said, at first the idea is just to talk about, where the state of Genshin is, and then
Mm-hmm.
I guess the idea that I got moved to more like it is a gotcha game, so we kind of just moved to the idea with gambling. Like, well, I feel the same with energy during a long training session. Managers could easily do quite a bit. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Wait, like generally, let me just reread the
Like,
question that Ben said. Hmm. I don't
mm.
Okay, I'm gonna move forward with the subject anyways, because like it's actually a pretty interesting question.
Mm.
Because when you say, do you think the casinos would allow it, right? That means we are aware. Like, obviously, I'm not sure if you're aware, Ren, but like I
Mm.
think casinos have their ways to not maybe not push like avoid the chance in your favor while still giving
Yeah.
you a chance.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But
I
it's
sadly
from what
know.
so unfortunately it's always in the house's favor.
Right.
Not always, but like it's
Most of the
if
time.
I'm not mistaken, if it's most of the
Mm.
time in the house's favor because they still have to make money off. Like I guess the question came up at something at some point where you'd
Mm-hmm.
have to make money for this stuff. Um, if you really think about it, anyone
Mm.
could win. Anyone could actually like if we're gonna talk about Genshin, if we're gonna talk Genshin, anyone could pull five stars in the middle of
I
their
see,
pull.
Mush. I
That can
see.
happen. Like that can that can happen.
Mm-hmm. It
But
can, but
are
it's
you
a
going?
very,
But are
very,
you
very
exactly?
like risky.
So can if anyone can? Yes, technically speaking, anyone can, but the
Mm-hmm.
chances are very slim.
Right, right. Even if
It's
they lose a little of some games. Yeah.
system shit. Oh God, wait, casinos have so many rules. Yeah, but like I said, the house is always making money somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they are. Like I'm no casino
Yeah.
expert. I'm no casino expert. Listen. I've never been to a casino, and I don't think. I mean, I probably will at some point eventually. But like, no,
All
like
right.
it's just I've never done it. So
Mm.
it's a little crazy how far we already pushed the subject. We went from no. Here's, I'd be surprised how strict some casinos are. You get monitored as soon as you win a single one. Oh wow,
Mm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I said,
It's
it's crazy.
crazy.
Like I said, it's crazy to see how far we pushed the subject from. We just started off
All
on
right.
literally
All right.
Genshin.
Let's move on to FNAF, shall we? All
Okay,
right.
so,
Let's
so
move
coming
on.
from a here's the thing, coming from a game that had lore that we didn't care about because we wanted to get the pretty character to a
Mm-hmm.
game that actually has a crazy lore.
Crazy lore. All right. Let's move on to FNAF.
I
All
don't
right.
okay. Where do you want to start with that?
How about we start in the beginning? Like, you watched the lore. What do you think so far?
Okay,
FNAF
wait, I'm
time.
probably dude. Okay, I'm not. I only know about like I'm gonna start by giving you like a small introduction. I
Mm-hmm.
only know about the FNAF lore because of Map Pack, right? With Game
Mappa is
Theory.
goaded. Mappa is
No,
goaded.
Map Pack is not like I would have a picture of Map. Wait, I've never played a FNAF game. Here's the okay, Mush. Hear me out. Um,
Ren hasn't either.
no,
I
I
have
haven't
played
played a
all of
game.
them though. I have played all of them.
Um,
I am the FNAF
wait,
genius.
no, no, for real,
No, for
for
real.
real.
For real.
It's all right if you don't know anything about it. It's
Mm-hmm.
um, just think of it like this. Think of a game that was originally supposed to just be an indie game, but people speculated so much that there was so much they started adding lore
Yeah,
as it
they
kept
started
going.
adding lore and it's crazy.
And it's to a point where the lore became so diverse slash complicated, it became interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And not only it became interesting, like it developed its own it developed its own fan base. Like for myself, I've never played a FNAF game ever,
Mm-hmm.
but I only know about the FNAF lore because of Map Pack. And Map
Right, right.
Pack, like I'm going to like, get with you, to just talk to you specifically much. I've like I said, this is because we both never played a game. I only know like I'm sure you only know about it because of its big popularity,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you I'm look I never knew what the timeline was. Um wait,
Mush,
wait, what?
Mush doesn't care about the lore. They just care about how hot Map Pad is.
No, honestly, that pack's pretty hot. Like I won't lie. Like,
He's
like
okay. I don't like white
no,
guys.
okay.
I don't like white
Okay.
guys.
I mean, no, look, listen, look, here's the thing. His voice was
Mm-hmm.
soothing enough to a point where I used to listen to like random game theory videos when I
Mm-hmm.
went to sleep.
Bro
Dude,
wanted Map Pad to sing him to sleep.
I want Map Pack to sing me to sleep. That'd be not like okay. But the thing is, he also what he did is what really I want to say what really pushed the FNAF lore in my opinion is Map Pack. Like
Mm-hmm.
Map Pack, thing is, if Map Pack didn't, sorry, treated same.
Okay.
But the thing is, I no the way Map Pack treated his videos, sorry, treated the lore, not his videos, sorry, treated the lore of FNAF. He pushed the boundaries for even the creators to start adding more to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Map Pack has a big influence on how the game has become today.
Right,
Um,
right.
it's unfortunate that I overheard that he wasn't even mentioned in the movie because I think there was a movie, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken.
Dude, he is like
But
the center of all of it, to be honest.
he basically he technically free advertised a indie game that made it so big. He
He
pushed the
definitely pushed
boundaries. Like he
my
definitely pushed
boundaries. No, 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 no. It's FNAF time. Stop glazing him, bro. Stop glazing him. All right. Okay. So you
I'll glaze
said
it.
you had thoughts about FNAF lore. What you
Okay.
got?
So, well, I guess this is part of the introduction thing where I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know about what the lore was. I only knew
Mm-hmm.
about theories. That's all I knew. So I didn't know any timeline. I didn't know who happened, what happened, or who died, or who's related to whose death until I watched a
Mm-hmm.
video pretty much yesterday about summing up what the FNAF lore was like. Um, I'd vote, but
Not
like
at all.
I'd vote, but like um, but now that I know, now I have a decent understanding of the lore.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like to me, what's not to me, my opinions are not related to the lore. My opinions are related to the idea of
Map
how
hat.
not well, yes, it has an
Map
obviously
hat.
an involvement. It obviously has an involvement with Mappack, but it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy to see how people had X and Y idea and then either this
Mm-hmm.
happened or it didn't. But the thing is, there was so much mystery behind it. There was just so much
Mm-hmm.
mystery behind FNAF in the sense that who's the purple guy? Right? I didn't know who the purple guy
Mm-hmm.
was. No one knew who the purple guy was for the next like I think two installments of the game.
Mm-hmm.
No one understood until more games came out. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, the 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 way certain things were depicted in the game was I believe there was I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. I'm just going to just go on and rant. I'm assuming that you guys have an idea of what's going on. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that the kid who died was the creator's son.
Right.
I didn't know that till yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So to learn that, I was just there like, oh, that explains this mini game they had in the game where um um sorry, there was a specific part in the game where they would see like almost like a more terrifying version of each animatronic that was there. And then
Mm-hmm.
now it makes sense where it's the kid having a nightmare about what happened to him,
Why do you think
right?
FNAF was such a massive success from the start, but games that try to follow its step fall so short of it? Hmm.
Okay, my opinion on that is because they were the pioneers.
Right,
There was
right.
just like I don't want to go back to Genshin, but like just to compare, just like
Mm-hmm.
that, they were very much the first of its kind.
Pretty
And
much.
every time there was something new similar to that, it attracts a certain type of, I guess, I guess it attracts a certain intriguingness into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're playing games like FNAF, right? You play for the first time, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, but then when you finish the game, the first thing you ask is, why is that a thing? Who's
Right,
this?
right.
Or what's the story behind it? Like, how are these animatronics coming to life? Or if we're taking any other games that like have a decent lore into it, like it's yeah, like there's a way. So but keep in mind, there's some games that just don't do it right. There's some people who've never. There's probably some games out there that probably never seen the light of day, even though they're completely innovative.
Mm.
It's like I'm sure there's a first of its kind out there that's never been out there, like that's been out there for a long
Yeah,
time. No one's
FNAF
ever
didn't
discovered
have
it.
marketing. It
But
practically just started on its own.
yeah, FNAF didn't have marketing.
It just started.
This is why Map Pack is so important
Mm-hmm.
because Map Pack technically promoted the game without. I don't know if you realize what he was doing.
Like the
Like
theories. The theories
the
made it like
theories, the theories
right.
just
The
made it
theories.
not. The theories not just only made it an interesting low. Sorry, the theories did not only make the game sound interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It made us question the lore of this game. We're looking at a game where half the mini games are full of sprites. It's impossible to tell who's what, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then when you're actually playing the game, it has nothing to do. PewDiePie and MapPack. Wait, PewDiePie also, in my opinion, pushed it as well because the moment you take these bigger YouTubers out there or bigger content creators pushing so far into a game that I'm sure everyone has seen it. Like the amount of
Right.
it's I wouldn't call it advertising.
It
Like I
like it was. I don't even know how to describe it. Like it was nothing from the start, but then like so quickly became a thing. It didn't need marketing, you know?
it's just like how during the pandemic everyone started playing chess.
Yeah. Everyone, yeah, it didn't need
Everyone
marketing.
it didn't need marketing. It was there for billions of years.
Yeah, it's been
Just
there.
and everyone's just like, oh, let's get onto it. And then you see one popular content creator play
Mhm.
chess, another one follows, and then
Mhm.
another one follows. But it's the same. I won't call it the same as game theory. But the
Yeah.
thing is, game theory was already big enough. And for someone who likes to break down the lore
Mm,
of a game and is very popular at the same time,
yeah,
I'm
it was like
sure
a
it
chain
attracted a bunch.
reaction.
Exactly, it was a complete
Yeah,
chain
yeah.
reaction. And that's how I personally thought the FNAF lore was interesting, but I didn't know what, sorry, I thought FNAF was interesting, I just didn't understand the lore.
Mhm.
Now that I have the lore in mind, to me it's crazy to think to how
Mhm.
close and how far he was certain things. Like at first we
Right.
didn't know who Purple Guy was, but then I think he made a theory where the Purple Guy was somehow blood related to the first killing. Right. Remember, it's just the hyper chess when Pokemon PCG guy, chess is too
Real me
straightforward and
too much. I
information.
love Pokemon.
Um, Here's the thing. For myself, I like chess. I can't play it very well, but I can
Mm,
see the appeal. I can definitely see the appeal of what made the chess.
right.
I guess what makes chess appealing. It's it's confusing. Don't get me wrong. Chess is absolutely confusing, and I
Mhm.
don't. I'm not gonna say I know what I'm doing half the time, but um, like oh wait, so wait, you're talking about Pokemon VGC. Oh, so you're talking about people like Wolfglick. I'm a big fan of Wolfglick. So, um, I'm okay between
Mhm.
Ranina. I'm on the more
Mhm.
competitive side of games.
I
So
don't like competitive.
I enjoy competitive
I
games.
collect Pokemon cards because I like the look of them. I collect them
Um,
because I don't know, I collect.
dude, no,
I don't play
Wolf is
them.
actually no, Wolf is definitely a no. I love
Why
Wolf's
are we
lore,
suddenly
but
talking about really hot men? This went from Genshin to gambling to FNAF to hot men to FNAF to hot
okay,
men.
okay. So Ren, sorry, like Ren.
Hmm?
So what Mush is trying to say, TCG is the card game, okay, and
Hmm?
VGC is the Pokemon battles.
Ah.
So they're two different things, actually. They're actually two different things.
Oh.
So that's why I know more about the VGC because it's the competitive version of it.
Oh.
It's like, but don't get me wrong. There's always a downfall to competitive
Mm-hmm.
games. Obviously, why do you want to play a game that burns your mental,
Right.
right? So, but this is why I appreciate games like FNAF, right? I have to
Mm-hmm.
appreciate smaller game, not smaller game. FNAF is not a small game, but
FNAF is not a
um,
small game.
those FNAF is not a small game. But like I feel like for those who are into, for example, competitive games, don't always have the time to play the single player game that has the lore, has all these fun mechanics, and then it's
Right.
vice versa, where the person who wants to play casually doesn't have the time to burn their mental on on a game that's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say competitive. Like competitive is not. It is a competitive game, but what's more, I guess, uh, something to get better at. It's very hard to
Mm-hmm.
explain. Oh no, Minecraft is a huge indie game. It's a massive indie
Minecraft is
game.
massive.
No, Minecraft
Minecraft is
is
like
an
the
indie game.
game.
No, like nobody knows what Minecraft is, but like no, Minecraft is an indie game, 100%.
Hell no.
I think chess is accepted. 20 pieces, 6 pieces, infinite possibilities of moves. See, much for me, that to me is the part that appeals that
Mm.
really that I really like about a game. Like I'm more on the competitive side of games, like mentioned. Um, I don't want I'm not gonna go too deep into what I personally play,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just the idea of a puzzle that's happening on real time, but you're versus other people who want to also solve that puzzle. So who's gonna solve the puzzle first, and whether in what way and how they're gonna do it. That's the way I've always looked at competitive games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and to me, that's what appeals. So that's why when it comes down to me playing a single player game, the puzzle's there, but I have no one to compete it with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like Rand, that's the reason why I get very burned out on single player games
Right.
because there's no one else to fuel the drive.
Mm-hmm.
But then how are they able to play Genshin? So that's a different story.
FNAF ranked PvP. I think there actually is something like that.
Is there really?
There's a lot
There,
of FNAF fan games. I'm sure there's one for ranked PvP. There is definitely one for PvP. I know that.
like I'm I'm gonna say this, like I played like I said, I played a bunch of competitive games, but I'm looking to retire on it because it's not fun to always um it's not fun to always try.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Um like I it's hard it's there Mush, I'm not sure if you understand this feeling, but there's there's probably a day that you're just sitting there and you're probably looking at your screen playing let's just go with VGC since that's
Mm-hmm.
what we have in common, right? Um, it's nobody wants to sit there thinking that I might win, I might lose. I have to start thinking hard and everything. Or sorry, maybe I'm not in the mood of thinking too hard. Sometimes you just want to let loose. And that's what I found. That's for me, the idea of letting loose is what got me to the appeal of also
Mm.
trying out some single player games.
Right.
Because it's not fun for one person to always keep thinking, or why do I have to keep fighting over something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with fighting games. I like to I play Melee.
Mm.
So Melee is a old like a 25-year-old Super Smash game. It's full of like bugs and everything, but it has its own um appeal and everything. It has its own competitive scene. But sometimes I just want to play the weird character that no one plays and just learn and
Right,
have
right.
fun. There's no point in doing so. Like
Mm-hmm.
Ran, what is your experience with competitive games actually?
Oh
Since you're the
man.
opposite.
Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. I have very, very bad anger issues and like anxiety to the point that both of them combine into one like ticking time bomb to where if I touch a competitive game, I will get either too into it or not give a shit about it at all. So I either hate it or I hate it to the point that I love it. So I just can't play them, you know?
Oh no, I get that. So
It's the combination, the anger
you just
issues and
hate
the anxiety. I just can't put those two together.
for me, it's what I love to see, especially about a multiplayer competitive game, is to
Mm-hmm.
see the person I'm playing with suddenly pop off and have their moment. That's my favorite moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like yes, thing is I'm very self. I don't want to say I'm self-centered, but like I'm very when it comes down to games like this, I tend to push the game to a
I feel
certain
like
limit. You
a
know,
lot of people are like that for like shooters and competitive games.
exactly. But
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that I could improve. That's my
Yeah,
that for
yeah.
me that's my drive. But when I see someone else I know improve as well,
Mm-hmm.
that to me is a better feeling. Like let's just say I got let's Ryan, let's just say I get you into a competitive game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say. And then like if I get you into a competitive game, I understand you're new, you're gonna get frustrated, etc., etc. But if I see that one moment of you popping off for the first time, doing what you did, doing putting all the practice that you decide to put into come to use, I'm popping off with you. Like I will
I know.
scream in the
I
call with you.
listen. I love those feelings, but at the same time, I cannot play them if I'm not with friends. Like I feel like if I played a competitive game with people I know or I'm friends with, it would be fun. I cannot
Yeah,
play
that's it.
competitive games on my own.
That's it. Hold on. Fighting
That's it.
games.
That's it.
Hold on. Me too. Fighting games.
Baking is the most difficult game I play, for real. That's so real, Mish.
Yo, listen. Okay. Um, I'm a cook.
You
I
suck at
can bake.
baking.
I can't bake. I can't bake
You
for my
suck
life.
at baking, dude.
I can cook from like I've been a cook for 10 years. I did it professionally and I did it as a job. So when it comes down to everything I've done, I can make you either the prettiest dish or the most comforting dish. What I prefer is making the more comfortable dish. But if you're gonna tell me, hey, Ren, can you bake a cake? Sorry, Ren, can you bake a cake? I'm gonna tell you this
No.
now. Little story. Little story. I had my little niece over,
Uh-oh.
and I had my little niece over, and she wanted cookies, and I was like, oh, how hard can this be? I put the butter in, sugar, chocolate chips, and I popped it in the oven. I forgot to put the flour.
I
So
remember that. I remember
I,
that.
I forgot to put the flour, and the whole house smoked up. And ever since that day, I told myself I'd never bake again.
I
I'm
fucking
just
remember
absolutely,
that, dude.
I'll never bake again. And I avoid anything that involves a pastry because I'm terrified.
Bro can't have asked the baking tutorial. That's so true. Don't worry, bro.
No, no, I
I'll
could, no,
bake
no.
for you. You know I can
What's
bake.
you can bake. The thing is, I went to school for it, right? I went to school
Right.
for it, and I literally had a module where I had to learn how to bake a cake, a pie,
Mhm.
cupcakes, and other pastries.
Mhm.
And I passed with like without a problem. When it came down to me doing it at home, I almost burned the house down. So yeah, that's never happening again. I've been baking
All
since I
right.
was a child. Absolutely adore it. To come back to take a shower, do the rest of your Oh my God, you're very lucky that you have a sense. No, no, you guys are very lucky to have actually have a sense of baking. Because if there's one thing that I have to tell you as a professional cook is that cooking and baking are two different things. Baking is a science, while cook is has a different approach to it. Why do I say baking is a science? If you go off one to two, maybe if you go off by a little bit, your whole result is different. No, for
Let's go
real.
back to
That's
FNAF, bro. Listen, our streams go off like a
no, no,
lot.
no, no. I mean, that's the whole point, right? Like, in the
That's
end of
the
the
whole
day,
point of
like,
like us together. We
no,
go
that's
off a lot. But let's go back to FNAF. Let's go back to
like,
FNAF.
it's okay. When we're going back, going back to FNAF.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Going back to FNAF. Um, the thing is, I, if there's one thing I will take from the FNAF lore that I enjoy is the
Mhm.
mystery behind it, right? The
Mhm.
mystery behind the FNAF lore to me has been the most appealing part of the um I guess the game in general, or the story in general,
Mhm.
only because I was so introduced to the FNAF lore and everything. But the one thing I wish was different is if we didn't involve the paranormal.
I mean, that's kind of like the whole point of FNAF, though. Like they
It
possess the
is.
suits. That's
Right.
how they came to
And
be.
I know it's a little strange, right? I know it's a little strange to think that why is the main thing
Mhm.
why is the main thing um the thing I don't really agree with. The reason is that I feel like using the paranormal is I've always seen using the paranormal as an easy way to say, oh, this is why it happened.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, like suddenly a kid dies, the spirit comes in.
Yeah, but
No,
that's like
like
the whole point of the lore, though, because like he kills the kids, they
it
possess the
is.
suits, they try to kill everybody that has purple
What,
on them because he's the purple guy. Blah blah blah.
what's like? I think that you want to say it took a pair. Yes, yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Ah, I see.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Um, because like I would have understood. I think it would have been interesting. Like I'm not going to go out of my way to say, hey, I'm going to
Mhm.
change it for FNAF lore, but it'd be kind of, or dare I say, I'm not the one who thinks that my opinion is obviously better or anything like that. I just think that, let's just say, imagine finding an almost a semi-realistic way to make these actually a thing. I feel like it would
Mhm.
actually be like scarier,
The
in my opinion.
paranormal is an
Right?
overused idea, in my opinion. I can't stand the whole shtick, even when it's done right. Honestly, I think I'm a bit biased because I really like everything horror and paranormal elemented, so I
Oh, don't
might
get me
be a little
wrong.
biased on that.
Oh,
I
don't get me
love me a
wrong.
good ghost story.
But yeah, exactly. I love a good ghost story. I love a story that will get me thinking at night, and at some point it's 4 a.m. and I can't sleep.
As long as they don't like push the aspect too far, like, hey, this is a ghost, they got killed, they haunt you. You know what? Like, don't I don't want boring
Exactly.
shit like that. You
Right.
know,
But
like the movie, kind of like the movie Unfriended. You know, it's
oh,
paranormal,
right.
but to an extent where it's cool and unique.
Exactly. It almost feels
That's
like
the
it's
same with
paranormal.
FNAF, kind of, but a little bit too
Right.
far in the ghost
I
aspect.
I just don't want the paranormal to be the reason the excuse, right?
It kind of
Like
is, though.
it kind of is though. But like imagine please I don't know because I don't think from what I remember in the lore, from what I remember in the lore, the son ended up possessing the um the suit, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, okay,
So
listen, hear me out. That's why I like FNAF sister location so much because they don't actually all get possessed. Most of them are made by William to kill instead of having a motive of a ghost that wants to kill any
but now
adults.
but now I'm wondering in the lore is it mentioned how they're being possessed? That's what I've always wondered.
Wait, which ones?
In general because I understand there's a, what some type of mannequin or a puppet that helps them get
Uh,
possessed.
the puppet. I think the
Yeah, there we
puppet
go.
was possessed by Charlie, and
Right,
Charlie kind of helped them into the suits.
right.
I think they put their bodies in there.
But then my question becomes, how does the possession work?
Okay, wait.
Right? It just happens.
The best game,
All right,
like lore wise or like game wise?
all right, cool. Hold on, let me read the rest. Fair enough. Wait. It went from kids ghosts being stuck in animatronics to ghosts being able to close like yes, fair enough. I'm the opposite. I'm biased against paranormal ghost stories. I sleep like a baby at night. Listen, I wish. I just wish. Um.
But game wise, FNAF
Ooh, I think
2. FNAF 2, and then lore wise, Sister Location.
Remnant is created from bodies.
Because game wise is so much more fun in FNAF 2, but FNAF Sister Location is definitely more lore. More lore.
I'm actually curious. Is that how it all happened? Because it never. I don't think it was ever mentioned. That's
Mm,
the one part that's the little bit that's been bugging me about the FNAF lore. How are they getting possessed or what's allowing them to be possessed? It's not just I realize it's the fact that yes, whoever dies in the suit possesses the suit, correct?
a
Oh
new
wait.
canon from the
It,
books? Really?
oh, so it is explained then.
I
Oh
see.
well, so that'll see that will probably that's the itch I've been having about the FNAF lore,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know about, and I don't know what. See, everything in terms of the storyline adds up. No, it doesn't add. I don't want sorry, it does add up, but sorry, everything in the story is good. There's nothing wrong about the story whatsoever. The only thing that it's been bugging me is how are they getting possessed? But I guess Fen mentioned there's a new canon from the book. See, this is the one thing I love about the lore,
Mm.
or I guess this is the game in general, is that there's
Right,
always
right.
a missing part. There's a missing
Mm-hmm.
part, and we don't know where that missing part is.
Right.
And people go out of their way to find it. MapPack once again pushed it to the
MapHat
absolute
was the
limit.
one that did that, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. MapPack pushed it to the absolute limit, and that's what I loved about it. That's absolutely what I loved about um, the game. Well, sorry, not the game. I never played the game. About the story and the lore.
Ah, no worries, Mush. Thank you for coming by. Bye,
No, take
Mush.
care.
Bye
Thanks for swinging
bye.
by, actually. So it's just fun to see how things you build a good story when people
Mm-hmm.
are asking questions.
Right, right. Like,
No, no, you
I
build
love that part of stories where you actually get to have questions instead of it all being answered way too soon. It just takes away the anticipation.
no, it takes away like but because like if you're able to guess everything ahead of time, of course the
Mm-hmm.
story's going to be bad.
Of course, yeah.
Nobody wants a story that starts that gives you the ending on the first chapter,
Mm-hmm.
right? But everyone loves a story that has so much mystery behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And FNAF has that, but it also had a lot of help.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it wasn't for people like MatPat, PewDiePie, and many other theorists out there, no one would ever push the boundaries of FNAF.
Mhm. Right,
And
right.
I'm sure it's the case. Because here's the thing: I'm sure this is the case for many other stories out there. I'm gonna take a wild example. Ren, you're a fan of wait, hold on. Do you think Void? I don't like it when a void of in a story
Mm,
becomes
I okay,
what?
hold on. I have a thought about this. So
What?
it really depends, because some voids are like meant to be filled. They're there for cliffhangers, you know? I am a
I agree.
writer myself, so when I put a void in my story, right? It's never there to like be lazy. It's always there for some type of cliffhanger or like some type of void that's meant to be filled. You know? I wouldn't call it laziness.
But there has been stories where uh authors or I guess storytellers leave a void and it's never
Mm.
answered. And let's just take an example.
I
I'm trying to
mean,
think of an example, but uh okay, we're both fans of anime, right?
mm-hmm.
So let's just take I can't think of an anime right off the bat, but I hate it when a second season doesn't come out or something about the ending just not answering
Oh
anything
my
at all.
gosh. That's what I love about FNAF is that they took their time, but they still delivered. They took their time,
Yes.
but they still delivered, and they
See,
did that with the lore and the games.
see, now that I know there's a canon, um, yes, yes, absolutely, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The here's the have you do you know about the ending, by the way?
No,
No? Okay. Do you want me to spoil it? I mean, okay. Do
I
you want
don't
me to?
care.
Okay, okay. Just I'd rather ask. Okay, so the way JJK was ended, we still don't understand what Yuji's domain is. We still don't
Mm.
understand anything about how, what, or what's going on after this. It's like there's so many questions, and they ended it that way.
Oh,
And
they like edited it there?
they ended it there. They're like, do we know if Gojo comes back? Do we know? No, it just ended. And I hate that
Oh.
because the story was good. The story was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way they ended it was just lazy. It's it just sucks. Like now, as much as I think, wait, are you guys based off? Huh? Never thought of that.
Mm, kinda.
Are we? Okay,
Kinda.
you say kinda. I never thought of it. No, no, look, I never. I just genuinely never thought of that. You say kinda. I didn't know.
I mean, kinda.
I mean, kind like I guess now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I guess
Yeah, pretty
yeah,
much.
kind. No, we didn't think about it. No, well, I didn't think about it. You did.
I did. Okay, let's go back to FNAF before we go off
Okay,
topic
okay.
again, though.
Isn't that the whole
Um,
point?
I'm trying to stay on topic, bro.
Okay, okay.
Let's see.
But like, sorry. Like, I guess the whole storyline, the whole like, I guess the void of a story or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, in FNAF, see, I was the reason why I didn't like the paranormal thing is because, like I mentioned, I felt like it was an excuse. But now that you're mentioning there's something that's canon explaining why that happens, now I'm more
Mm-hmm.
interested.
Right,
Now I'm
right.
way more interested.
FNAF
So it's
is
like,
full of voids that are meant to be filled, and they actually deliver with it instead of being either lazy or just, straight assholes for not revealing it, you know?
no, exactly.
They actually deliver.
It's nice to see when an author or a storyteller really pushes the boundaries, or sorry, really pushes the boundaries of people of making people think
Mm-hmm.
about their story. Um, when you really look, in my opinion, a good story will always have mysteries because
Right, right.
that'll keep itching you to wanting more.
Like,
Um,
like I know you're not saying that stories that don't have questions are like not good, but they're definitely way better when they have questions. Kind of like when FNAF
exactly.
took like so many years in between breaks to release like different games, you know? And in the games is like mainly where the lore is,
Right. And
Easter eggs and
on
shit.
top on top of that, okay, let's talk about Easter eggs. Let's actually talk about Easter eggs
Easter
in
eggs.
terms of
Right, right, right.
let's, let's talk about Easter eggs in terms of FNAF. I love it. I love the Easter eggs
I
in
love
FNAF.
Easter
Why?
eggs in games in general.
basically the thing is I love Easter eggs, and especially when they fulfill voids
Mm-hmm.
in a story.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it takes the player to go out of their way to work their stuff off to find an answer for something that's just been out there the whole time. It's just there. You
Right.
don't pay it. You don't. That's the thing about an Easter egg, right? You have to find it. Sometimes it's literally in front of your face, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you have to go out of your way to find it. So, and for those who actually take the time to find it, I mean, props to you.
Right, right,
It's
right.
how long have we been streaming? This is
This
our
is our
first
first
stream.
stream. This is our first ever podcast.
Yeah, if that's what you're wondering, this is our first. Yeah, this is definitely our first podcast. Like we've been trying to. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's been an idea in the making, so
Mm-hmm.
we decided to make it happen. So it's
Yeah,
and honestly, it's fun. Like I
it is
genuinely
fun.
didn't think it was gonna. No, I genuinely didn't think it was gonna be this fun, and I wasn't gonna get this comfortable. But like, no, I can keep doing this. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. There's a
Wait,
certain
is
charm to
this,
mysterious elements in story that would be solved by the viewer of the. That's exactly Matt Pat's
that's it.
like purpose for
That's
FNAF.
that. Bec- the thing is, it was such a pleasure to see how much he pushed it. Because if it was me who played that game, I would have never thought of it at all. I would have never. I would
Of
have
course
looked
you
at it.
wouldn't, though. Of course you
No, no,
wouldn't.
no, I wouldn't. I'm not the type of person. There's the thing. I'm not the type of person who will go after an Easter egg, right?
Right,
I
right.
think Easter eggs are fun, but I'm not that type of person.
I
Um.
love when Easter eggs go far enough to where they complete the lore, to where they're not just like a
Oh my
complete
gosh.
surprise
Yes.
and they actually
Absolutely.
are
Yes.
involved.
I completely agree. That I completely agree
Right, right,
with.
right.
Because like it's like especially for me, I come from competitive games. I don't think about this stuff.
Hmm. I do.
So, but that's such a big appeal for those who want to play single player games, right?
Hmm.
For those who want to like I guess I'll give credit to people who really want to go out of their way to explore and
Hmm.
especially people who 100% games.
Hmm.
Those people like know every bits and pieces of a game. And suddenly, sometimes you take all these pieces, you put them together, and you have a story. I guess
Hmm.
that was the case for FNAF. What's the weakest element?
Let me think
Oh
about
wait,
that.
I mean, I felt like I mentioned mine as a sense that I didn't like the paranormal part, but
Okay, I
there's a
know, I
part.
know, I know.
Go on, go on.
I am honestly kind of pissy about the Springtrap situation. Yes, I understand, like, oh, we need like a bad guy, we need a guy that started this whole thing. His villain arc just went too far to the point it was cheesy to me. It was both cheesy and just, not very unique. That he just became like the kids. He just got trapped and got possessed, and now he's still doing what he's doing, and he's an evil guy. That's all there is to him. That's what I'm kind of pissy about. But that's my
I'm going
thoughts.
to I'm going to disregard what I said about the paranormal because that actually was solved, technically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I needed that answer. For me, I
Mm-hmm.
very much needed that answer. So for me, now if I'm going to really think about what's the weakest part of the FNAF, if you're going to say the FNAF story,
Mm-hmm.
okay, sorry, I misread what Fen said. Um, see, I thought it meant FNAF in whole as a whole. What I thought was um
It's all right. It's all right.
no, that's all right. The thing is, as a whole, what I think is that there's too many fan games. That's the weakest. That's for me the
Mm,
weakest thing because I feel
right.
like having the right amount of games is good. It's healthy. It's healthy to have a right amount of games. Sometimes you push too many games too far, it just becomes bad,
Yeah, Fen,
right?
that's my
And I'm afraid.
point. That's my point. I'm kind of pissy about it because they didn't have like a whole new story for him. He literally just became like the others. Like he didn't have any kind of like redemption or kind of like a more evil turn. No, he just became like the others. I don't know. I'm just kind of pissy about it.
Ooh, wait, I'm trying to think about this in terms of the story. I want to like I can tell you now another like I can tell you now another strong point where there was no names.
There were
until other games.
names.
No, there were names, but we didn't know who to associate who what with
Oh,
it.
right.
So there's sorry, yeah, there was a name but no face until you played some of the mini games. But
Mm.
then in terms of what the weakest point, in my opinion, would be in terms of the story, I believe the cliche of mass murder
Mm-hmm.
is too much. Is in my opinion is what is a weak point. I feel like if you take out, like, let's just say we have a story, right? If this person decides to unalive someone of importance or someone dear or someone,
Mm-hmm.
of that caliber, right? And that's the only person taken out, I feel like that to me can start something good. And
Mm.
that's my opinion, right? But the thing is,
Right.
if you're gonna keep going, if you're just gonna keep going and taking out people,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it too many times.
Right, right, right.
I've seen it one too many times.
That's
And
that's my
while
whole
I
shtick with Springtrap. I've seen it too many times. I understand there is kind of like a justification with like him coming back, but it's just the general sense.
my main grip with FNAF, it feels like it's going for a more kid safe horror game.
If you look at the tapes and the lore, it's
Oh
definitely not kids safe, but it is pretty popular like game wise.
no, but the thing is, I can see what that means though. Like, how many
Mm-hmm.
times have you walked? Like, how many times have you seen, let's say, a random kid holding having a FNAF backpack?
All the time. They're meant for kids.
Right, right, right. That's the thing. It's meant for kids, but the story and lore is not.
Is not at all.
Oh, no, no, that's absolute. No, that's a valid point where
Mm-hmm.
the FNAF series is kind of a not it's a safe for kid horror thing,
It's more like
but
the
it's
aesthetic, because kids, like, I feel like most kids that love FNAF don't even play it or even know the lore. They just like it because, oh, big animatronic animals, you
yeah.
know?
I don't feel like it sounds very so. I guess it's
Wait, but
right. Like,
compared to the designs of the Glamrocks, the. Wait, but compare the designs of the Glamrocks to the designs of the first animatronics. I don't like the Glamrock. I'm just gonna say that right now. I don't care for the Glamrock animatronics. I don't care.
what's the glamour up?
It's it's one of the newer games back in like I don't know 2020 2021.
Okay.
Um it's I don't even think they're possessed. They were just made. I don't know too much about the lore for that.
Oh wow. Okay. So there's I guess there's part of the lore that I don't know.
I
Well,
don't
I
know
mean,
that either.
I just kind of learned about the lore yesterday, so I'm like, yeah.
Mm. Dude,
But
okay. I'm not gonna say your name, but I don't know what to call you. Pink name. Let's just say like watch the FNAF tapes. Watch the tapes. Just trust me and watch the tapes. FNAF tapes are crazy.
I'm just gonna call him kid.
Kid, all right.
Yeah, I just realized I don't know if we were safe to say that or
I don't
not.
think we can.
Like, I
You.
don't yeah, you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you.
Yeah, I don't know if we're safe to say that on Twitch. Like I said, this is our first stream. We don't want to go off hinge
I'm
completely.
just gonna call you
That's
kid.
less. Is that okay? Like, I never ask because I don't know if it's safe to even say the word. I have absolutely no clue.
I don't know, honestly.
Like I said, we're still
But yeah,
new to
that's kind of
this,
my point. Glamrocks don't feel as scary as the first time I tried. Yeah, I think that's the whole point.
but
Okay,
I
I'll call
guess
you whatever. Hi, whatever. So,
don't
like,
do that.
what? What?
That's mean. That's
See,
mean.
see, they don't care. They don't care.
No, I'm gonna call him kid.
I'm gonna call them whatever. All right. So, the Glamrocks, I think the whole point is that they're not supposed to be scary. I don't understand the lore or if there even is any for it, to be honest. But,
But like, no, but I understand what Fen is trying to say. It's just like taking. It's just like it's just like taking a game. Let me just pull up something. Maybe I can figure out
mhm.
a game to compare this to. Uh, let's just. It's just like taking Red Dead Redemption and making it kid friendly.
Right, right.
And I think that's what Fen is trying to say. Where that's they feel like that's where like the weak point is.
hmm
If I'm not mistaken, Fen, I've got if I got you there.
There is a lot of weak points in FNAF, but to be fair, I feel like there are more good points than weak points. Does that make sense?
Well,
Like I don't know how to describe it.
Oh, but I mean, like, I would say the the weak points sorry, the weak points and the good points weigh
Mhm.
in nicely, is if
Mhm.
that's what we want to try to say. Because not everything has a positive in everything, right?
Right, right.
Let's just be honest, right?
Mhm.
Um, so hey, like, I mean, everything has their up and downs.
Right, right.
So, like, don't get me wrong, FNAF is not perfect, but it's good. Just
It's
like many
really
other
good.
games. Just like many other games. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
here's one thing. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to wait one. I usually don't talk about FNAF tapes when discussing about not killing material.
Yeah, they are
But
fan-made material, but they are
oh,
scary
are
as
they?
hell. They are
Are
scary as
they?
hell.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
So I guess I'm learning something.
You are
Wait,
learning.
no, I'm learning a lot more than good.
Mhm.
Let's go this as an example. You're a fan of Arcane. Question about it.
Mm?
Are you okay with Arcane?
I'm okay with Arcane.
Do you like it? Like it? Not like crazy like it, but like
I like it, but not crazy like it.
okay. But then let's just take the lore from that, right? And people don't know it's from League of a lot of people some people don't know it's from League of Legends. And the lore in League of Legends is crazy.
Mhm.
So like it's always nice to see when um it's genuinely always nice to see when you have a big world. I'm gonna say a bit like I'm gonna say FNAF is definitely a big world.
Mhm.
That's my opinion, right? I'm gonna say when you have a world that has a lore not only full of mysteries but also answers to those mysteries.
Right.
It's
That's like the whole point of
I
games, though. I feel like every
what
game should have some sort of mystery with them.
what about tic tac toe?
Tic tac toe. Yeah, there should be a mystery with tic tac toe.
Okay, that's the next thing. We have to find a mystery about tic tac toe. Like what are the signs? What are the circles? What do the circles
Right,
mean?
right.
No, it's just pushing it. Okay, maybe not every game,
Just pushing
but
it.
like
Like chest with a dark twist.
no. Chess actually has a story behind it.
Oh, alright. Well, I don't care.
It actually has story. It actually has a story behind it. It's a little crazy, but like it's
Alright.
geez, how long have we been streaming for?
Almost 2 hours, but we might wrap it
Oh,
up soon.
that's
Wrap up
true,
a little bit of
actually.
FNAF.
Yeah, we'll argue it off with a little bit for now. Like, in your opinion, does would you be able to play the um wait what? What does? Sorry, kid, what do you mean by that?
I think
Like,
whatever's saying, like, the,
oh my
uh,
god.
I think whatever's saying, like, chess has dark lore.
Um, yeah, it does. It actually has lore. Um, without getting too deep into it, a chessboard was originally if I'm not mistaken, a chessboard was originally a how do what are they called? Like a war plan board?
Mm.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's where it kind of started. It's like,
So
okay,
it's
we're gonna
just
start
like
moving
lore.
our
It's just like that's why it's like royal themed, right?
exactly. It almost if I'm this is if I'm not mistaken. I remember reading or sorry, watching something on it, but it had that idea in mind. It became more of a game. Big
FPS
FPS chess.
chess.
Wait, that's actually a game.
It is?
Yeah,
What?
it's actually a game. Hold on, let me pull up Steam. I think so.
Wait, I know what game you're talking about. I actually do.
FPS
I
chess.
know what game you're talking about.
It's oh my gosh, it is. Yeah, it's a game.
I know what game you're talking about.
Yeah, so yes, every pawn had weapons. No I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but wait, wait, what was I saying again about the?
FNAF?
Yeah, I know I was mentioning something.
Mm, something
Something about
about.
every game having lore. Something. Um, oh God. Okay, I blanked out. So let's let's try to like I'm gonna try to keep on the FNAF thing, so this way
Mm-hmm.
I don't I'll probably remember, but um the way the way FNAF wait no sorry now I remember. Would you be able to play wait
Fan do be
yeah
mentioning things. You
wait
do be.
do okay would you be able to play sorry would you be able to get into the FNAF lore if it didn't have a game?
No. How
Because
would it
because
even
the
have like a
lore.
franchise, you know?
No, no, no. Disregard. No, no. Disregard the franchise. Disregard. Sorry. Disregard. Oh, sorry. Think of it. Think of the lore and the game as two separate things. Would you be able to get into the lore without the game, and or would you be able to get into the game without the lore?
I mean, that's hard to say because that's like where it all started, you know?
Right.
A
But thing is,
game,
for
like a
myself,
simple game is where it started.
but like take me as an example, right? No, exactly, exactly what Fen said.
I don't
Would be able,
think so. Not a lot of lore can work on its own, right? Not
but
like
the
a
thing is,
book
for
or a
me,
game.
but like as an example for me, I never played a game, but I'm into the lore,
Hmm.
so I can get into the whole FNAF thing without ever touching a game.
You can get into anything though, knowing you.
No, true, but that's my question though. Can you? But do you
I
think
don't
you
think
can?
many
You
people
can
could, because it always starts with something, you know?
right? But like, imagine someone talking about the story of FNAF, right? I would get into
Mm-hmm.
it. I wouldn't. I would have never known there was a game.
Mm.
I would have. Like I said, I've never played the game,
Right.
but I definitely got into it. But would you be able to do the same?
I don't think so. Maybe. Cause like if you think about it, I'm more of a person that like goes to looks more than anything, right?
Mhm.
So like I feel like I'd have to get into something like a game or a book or something before actually knowing the lore, so I actually know what I'm getting into, you know? I'm not too sure though, cause I don't think I've ever done that before.
Okay, have you gotten into a lore of something that you don't normally participate in?
Mm-hmm.
Then yes, you probably could.
Shut up. Okay, fine.
Then yes, you probably could.
All
Because
right,
that's basically
whatever.
what I'm asking. That's basically what I'm asking.
I
Because
just
like,
didn't know,
as
cause I don't think I do that often.
because let's just take what's that show called? Arcane, right? People never played League of Legends, but the amount of people who showed up to watch it was crazy. But then there's some people who've played League for years and can't even get into the show.
Mm-hmm. Right, right.
Like I've seen vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's obviously the people who played it who done both. Sorry, I don't. We've been like I don't know how do we go at this?
Well, we call ourselves siblings, but we've been best friends for 5 years.
Exactly. Yeah, let's just go with that.
Hmm.
Because in the end of the day, for myself, for the longest time, I've always wanted to start a podcast. I just can't talk by myself.
I get him yapping, bro. We yap, we yap, we
No,
yap.
no, 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 no. Because there have been moments where we just be in a late night call and we're just talking about random stuff, and
Yeah,
it never ended on on the original subject.
that's the thing about our
So
streams. I don't think like most of the time we'll stay on topic, right? Because a
no,
lot
no,
of
we
the
never do.
time it ends up shifting to something else that randomly pops in our head, you know?
It's like we
But
have
that's the thing. That's
that's
how
how a
conversation
conversation.
should be.
No,
Exactly.
exactly, exactly,
Exactly.
and most importantly, here, sorry, here we try to keep everything open as
Mhm.
much possible, like as open as possible.
Mhm.
Whether you guys have an opinion about something, or we have an opinion about something,
Mhm.
right? So, I mean, may as well. Like, it's probably very dangerous. I'm going to be very honest when I say it's
Mhm.
probably very dangerous to share um a bunch of opinions together because everyone will start fighting. But the
Mhm.
thing is, like I said, we're gonna keep things as open as possible. If ever there's something we don't disagree on, I will
Um.
I will say that I'll disagree on it, but I'll also try
I
to see the point.
I think we're
Oh, sorry.
planning on our streams being somewhere in between 2 to 4, maybe 2 to 3. So I think we're
Two to
going
four,
to
two to
end
three.
soon. We're just wrapping things up.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. Like I said, we this is kind of our first
This is
stream,
our first
so
stream.
here's the thing: we were just planning to go for an hour, like at
We
most
were
an
planning to
hour,
go
30
for an
minutes.
hour. We got carried away.
Yeah, we just got carried away. But that's the thing about conversations, right? You can sit down and at the
Hmm.
end. Oh, when would you guys do a stream again?
We said Wednesday, did we not?
Yeah, we could do. Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah, but all right, we're gonna
So
do Wednesday.
well, like I said, this is all very new to both of us,
Mm-hmm.
and we also want to, you know, how do I say this? We also want to do it when we're most not comfortable. How do I want to say this? This is all new to us. Let's start off with
Mm-hmm.
that.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. No, listen. I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought I would hop on stream today for the first time and not have anyone to interact with.
Yeah.
Other than yeah, like so honestly, for you guys just to show up, it's very much
It's
appreciated.
pretty fucking awesome, man.
No, like it's especially when you guys have um no, I agree, kid.
Yeah,
I
I agree
completely
with
agree.
you. I agree with you.
It's it's very nice to have people to interact with. And
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, well, hear me out. For the past couple of days after posting up that video, um, I was afraid no one would show up.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I have to give it to you guys who showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you. Like it's nice. It's really, really
Yeah.
nice. It's and on top of that, you guys have been very interactive too in terms of like
Yeah,
your own
we
opinions about
we
stuff.
definitely promote interaction and stuff. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. It's like here's the thing. I was so here I am thinking it was gonna be zero, at least -2 at most.
Shut
But
up, dude.
like
I told you it wouldn't.
no, but like, it's but like I said, Fen and Kid, like I love the fact that you guys are being interactive and
Mm-hmm.
specifically very respectable towards each other in terms of your own opinions. Much as well, I know Much is not here anymore,
Podcasts
but
should be interactive and, open places. That's what I
mhm,
think.
exactly. And like I said, open places, but very most importantly respectful between each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the end of the day, people have opinions about stuff, right? And
Right.
not everyone share the same thing, but it doesn't mean that you can't learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
And between me and Ren, like we always talk about random stuff, and while there are moments we don't share the same opinion, I'll hear them out and they'll hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking like, oh, it'd be kind of fun to have. I guess they were thinking like, oh, it'd be kind of fun to have this as a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little bit hesitant at first. I won't lie, but I said sure.
Right, right. You never know how things will turn out, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually having fun doing this. Listen, no, no, listen. We've known
we
each other for wait,
we've known each other for
we've
so
known,
long.
we've known each other for way too long. For it feels like it feels like I've known them forever, but
Right.
like no, no, like there are moments where no, there are moments where things shouldn't have been shared, but then we did it anyways.
We're crazy. We're absolutely insane.
No, absolutely, no, like well, open to people who are open-minded themselves. Interacting with closed-minded people kind of sucks, but
Yeah, I agree.
yes,
It's
I
hard to
agree.
interact with people with a closed mind.
But okay, this is probably me getting a high off of it,
Mm-hmm.
where I enjoy teaching a closed-minded person because when a closed-minded person starts to open up their thoughts into stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the whole dynamic shifts.
Right, right.
Like especially when someone only has one way of thinking and one way of doing so, and then suddenly learns about a new way that same thing was. It's fun to see their facial. It's fun to see their expressions. It's also very fun
Right, right,
to
right.
see that they're learning something new. And I don't know. I'm learning some stuff as we're speaking. Like I didn't know about the
Mm-hmm.
FNAF canon thing. But
I
no,
came
that's
up
cool. No, that's honestly
I
really
came up
cool.
with the idea for the topic, and he was like, I don't know anything about FNAF," and I was like, you know what? It's fine.
No,
we can go with the flow.
yeah, just go
It's
with the
fine.
flow. And look,
Go with the
the
flow.
thing is, I knew stuff about FNAF, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know everything, right?
Right, right.
No. In the end of the day, like maybe we'll see how it goes. And at the same time, like I'd like to make this a more
Mm-hmm.
regularly based thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
yeah, like if we're getting people like you guys, then sure, I would absolutely love
Sure.
it. Um, wait, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you guys? You mentioned. Okay,
We're both
if
above the
there's
age of 21.
yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. That's
That's
all
all
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
say.
say.
That's all we're gonna say.
Lore
Like
speed run.
like
Listen,
I,
he doesn't
dude,
know a lot.
no, I don't know. I don't. No, I don't know a lot, but I had like an hour video.
Let's say
A ring,
20 to 30.
yeah, just hit around there.
Hmm.
So it's just like, well, I mean, specifically for myself, it's something
Hmm.
I don't like to disclose, and I'm just going to be very respectful
Yeah,
as I mentioned that.
yeah, yeah.
That's it. And I'm just gonna, for me, for myself, I'm just going to keep it that way.
Hmm.
And I don't know about you, but like, hey, that's just me.
I don't really mind, but we'll keep it to ourselves.
Okay, that's fair.
All right.
Like, I think we should wrap it up here. What do you think?
Yeah. All right. I think we're good.
All right.
Dude, I need water
Well,
so bad.
dude, my throat
Oh,
hurts, but like at the same time, I'm having a lot of fun.
I know,
And
right?
so
All
I'd
right.
like to thank you guys for showing up. It's actually
Yeah.
been
Thank
an
you.
absolute pleasure. Seriously, like it really is.
Mm-hmm.
You should wait. You guys should have seen the depressive state I was in about like 2 days ago, knowing that nothing. I
You were depressed. You were like sitting in a corner crying, like, why isn't this getting views? And I'm like, it's
like what?
fine, bitch. We'll be
It's not a.
fine.
It's not about the views. It's more like I put that whatever. Like it's more like
We're gonna,
here's the thing.
we're gonna.
I did the editing, so that's why I'm just there like damn it. Like fine.
All right. Let's get a. All right.
Do we have something? Actually have something?
Nope. We're gonna
No,
get
you
rid
don't.
of
Okay.
these.
Get rid
We're
of
gonna
what? What are we getting
get
rid
rid
of?
of these. Oh shit. We're gonna get rid of
Not
these. All
moving it.
right. Alrighty.
Do you guys plan on making a Discord server? Usually how I get my Twitch notifications.
Honestly, we might in the future.
Hmm.
We're gonna have a different topic, but this is a podcast, so we do just talk.
Yeah, we do just talk. So
We
it's
do just talk.
basically if actually maybe it's probably a good time to mention what the podcast is going to be like. So basically,
Yeah.
we end up finding a random topic. We go off hinge. It's as simple as that. It can
Mhm.
be obviously we're keeping subjects reasonable. Let's start off with
Mhm.
that. But a lot of the times that's the idea. We're in a sense that listen, it's always just fun to just chat.
Right, right, right. That's the whole point
Like
of a podcast: open mind and interaction.
yeah, I mean at first, oh, what did we had again in terms of an idea? I guess next was something food
That
related,
was
wasn't it?
food. Yeah, it was like food related. So our next topic for a stream is gonna be circling around food.
And if we plan to make a Discord server, that wouldn't be a bad idea at all.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. We will
That
if we get
yeah,
more traction.
yeah. Like but for now, I think it's just gonna be easier
Yeah,
if
this
we
is
just
our
keep it
first
like
stream, so
oh,
we might.
this is what time are you guys planning to stream? I'm gonna say around the same time. Is that
Yeah,
alright
around
with
the
you?
same time, 7 p.m.
Yeah, around the same time.
Wednesday.
7
Eastern time.
p.m. Yeah, we're on 7 p.m. Eastern time. So, and if ever, we'll just make another announcement. I
Yeah,
think we have,
totally.
I believe there's something you can do on Twitch where we can have like little stories, and I think we can just
Mhm.
post something there.
Mhm.
Mhm. So, if that's all right with you guys, or that would work for us for
Mhm.
now, obviously.
All right.
Like, like I said, thank you guys very much for swinging by. We
Yeah,
both
thank you.
appreciate it. So,
My
thanks for.
tummy is growling. I'm gonna go chase after that ice cream truck.
The ice cream truck's been gone.
It's been gone for like 2 hours. Whatever. All right. Thank you
All right,
guys
and
for
all
coming by.
right, thank you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.